morning, Swain Event crew. The new year is here and it's the 2022 East Tennessee real estate season. As I always do, I'm going to shoot straight with you. If you have a home to sell, then you need to give me a call ASAP. Inventory is low and I will get you the most money possible and more than you think trying to sell it on your own. If you are a seller that also needs to buy a home, you need to call me ASAP, as there are ways I can help you manage that situation and stay in your home until we find what you want. If you are looking to buy, you need to call me ASAP. You absolutely need someone on your side to help navigate the current waters, and you need someone that's going to do their homework and find homes that aren't on the market yet. Bottom line, you need to call me today ASAP. Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897. If you are buying, selling, or considering investing in real estate this year, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon, and go Vols!
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suit your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 rounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. It is Friday, best day of the week, 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, and since it's Friday, we always like to check in with our guy Seth Stokes, who's joining us via the Irish Network's hotline. Stokes, good morning.
Good morning, my friends. How are we doing today?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. We made it to Friday.
Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, we did.
Big things playing in the Stokes household?
see, Landon's playing at a basketball tournament tomorrow, and then meeting up with my mom and stepdad, kind of at a halfway point between the two of us for lunch on Sunday after church, and that's about it, man. Other than watching some ball.
That's it. I like it. Sounds like a chill weekend. I was all ready to go, man. I was all ready to go. Had my fist balled up, ready to go down to Austin, and it's always weird, like when you go in with your fist ball up, so to speak, and the person that you are ready to put them hands on is like all nice to you.
Right.
It's weird. I feel that way with Texas. Man. Yesterday we had a conversation about, if you're Rick Barnes, do you talk to your team about not throwing the horns down hand sign at any point of the basketball game, because this team with Uros and Vescovy and Zakai Ziegler, Kennedy Chandler, man, this team has been feisty in the last couple of games, and we saw what happened after the Florida game. But if you are Rick Barnes, do you talk to your team about, hey, man, hey, no horns down? Ben and I already talked about it yesterday, gave our answer. What do you do, Stokes, in that situation if you are Rick Barnes?
Yeah, you can't – you got to hold off on the horns down. Keep your feistiness. Keep that edge that you've played with for the past couple of games. That's helped this team tremendously. I'm not going to say this was a soft basketball team early in the season, but it wasn't playing with an edge, and they were losing some games and getting bullied in some games that they probably shouldn't have. That's changed probably since, I don't know, after the Kentucky game. I think they've kind of started to play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Keep that, but just don't throw the horns down. I mean, they're going to honor Rick Barnes while he's there, so you can't be disrespecting them on their court like that. Disrespect them with your play, get physical, all that fun stuff, but don't throw horns down. They get real sensitive about that.
Yeah, Texas men's basketball account tweeted out the return of legendary Rick Barnes with a horns up emoji, and then hashtag unite the family, which is weird because they ran him out of town, but hey, whatever. Right. They are going to show that love and appreciation to him now, because they realize what they had. They have not won at the level that Rick Barnes has won at there in Texas since he's been here.
Texas is sitting there like, see, what happened was, it was business and hindsight, and we love you, Coach. Welcome back.
Yeah. Time heals, though.
It does.
Time heals, and everyone went after Shaka Smart when he was at VCU, and he went on the magical run a couple of years ago in the tournament, and everyone went after him, including Tennessee. And he told everyone, no. Well, you ain't telling Texas, though. Texas got trucks of bags.
Old money.
Yeah, exactly.
Old money is different.
So they got rid of Rick to bring in Shaka, and it didn't work out. It did not work out at all. So we know a thing or two about getting rid of a coach to get a coach for it not to work out all too well. We've been down that road before, but this is going to be a good one, man. There's a lot of really good games for the SEC Big 12 matchup, Ben. I mean, just you got your Kansas and your Kentucky legendary rivalry because of the prestige of two basketball programs going up against each other. You got Baylor and Alabama. Offensively should be fun to watch. Got some good games this weekend.
Yeah, should be a fun weekend of SEC basketball. Georgia beats Alabama, and now Alabama has to host number 4 Baylor. So congratulations. Auburn draws Oklahoma. Missouri is going to have to deal with a top 25 Iowa State team. A West Virginia team that is struggling right now is headed to Arkansas. Kansas State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, Florida should be interesting. Neither of those teams are all that great, but interesting matchup.
One of them teams really sensitive.
Yes, one of the teams is really sensitive, and that is the Gators. Mississippi State going to Texas Tech. Should be a fun day of SEC basketball. There are still SEC conference games being played. You want to know which games those are?
Vanderbilt.
Correct. Georgia at Vanderbilt and South Carolina at Texas A&M.
Hey man, they let the sorry teams out of this thing.
Yes. They really do. The teams that finish in the top 8 are the ones that get to play in it.
SEC's like, hey, we taking our best teams to win this challenge. It really means more. Vanderbilt, how about you stay home?
While you and Georgia have a play date. Georgia just got their 6th win of the season against Alabama. Why don't you go have a play date with Georgia?
Jerry Stackhouse, you and your suits, stay home. You don't need to play in this challenge. You and your 3-piece suits, man. We good. We're going to roll with these other SEC teams. Ben, as you look at this this slate, man, where you think the SEC will finish? Do you think the SEC will win the challenge? I almost said we. Woo! I almost said we. I checked myself.
Good job stopping yourself.
I know, man.
This is one of those instances in which I'm a hypocrite. It's like I want to be able to brag at the end of Saturday, like, yeah, the conference that my team is in, we won. We won the challenge. But I want Baylor to beat down Alabama. I want Oklahoma to upset Auburn. I want TCU to beat up on Will Wade. I want Oklahoma State to beat up on Florida. I want Kansas to embarrass Kentucky. I want all these other SEC teams to lose, but I also want to be able to say, yeah, the SEC won the challenge. So I'm a hypocrite when it comes to these type of things.
I want the SEC to lose the challenge with the exception of Tennessee beating Texas. That way we can say, I don't know what the rest of the conference is doing, but we did our thing.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I just also like to brag about doing our thing and doing it in the toughest conference.
I don't care. I don't care nothing about that.
I do. It adds a little extra bragging rights.
Just win games.
It's like the Titans winning the AFC South. Like, okay, yeah, that's nice, but you did it with the Jaguars and Texans in the same division.
That's not the Titans' fault.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when it comes to the bragging about your accomplishment, it makes it a little more special when you do it in a conference that is hard to win in. Just like winning the SEC West in football right now, like that is a heck of an achievement because of all the tough teams in the West. So I wish there was a way that both you could have teams lose and you could also brag about. The SEC won the challenge.
Yeah, I got a different approach. My approach is I want every team that Tennessee has beaten, I want them to win for the rest of the year. And so LSU.
Don't say it.
I mean, it makes our win look better.
It.
Huh?
You've implied it. You don't have to say it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at.
I'm that way with our non-conference teams. Like Arizona, go win the Pac-12. Texas, after tomorrow night, after Tennessee wins, go win the Big 12. Colorado, try to do something in the Pac-12. I'm that way with the non-conference teams. Texas Tech, go win a bunch of games. But I can't bring myself to say that about Will Wade.
I won't be rooting for him, but I mean, I want our wins to look better. And there's only one way for that to happen, and that's for the teams that we have beaten to go out and win and look good. So I won't be cheering. I'm just telling you that's what I just want the best for Tennessee basketball. One of the worst things ever in college athletics is when Team A beats Team B Team B is like really good. Team A beat Team B. Team A fans are chanting overrated. It's like one of the worst ever. Because by doing that, you're basically undervaluing what you just accomplished. It's like one of the worst things ever. So,
right.
If you are Alabama and you beat Baylor, then don't be stupid, Bama fans. Don't be chanting overrated. Don't chant overrated. It's stupid. Kentucky at Kansas. You know how those crowds get into it. I just thought about that, but no, man, I'm rooting for Tennessee. That's it. But we know what's best for Tennessee.
Chanting overrated to a team that you just beat is like making short jokes to a guy who just balled on you. Like, you're making yourself look bad. You're playing yourself at that point.
You're hustling backwards.
Right. Like, you're not making progress, sir. you're you're making fun of yourself unbeknownst to yourself.
Yeah. Just it don't make sense. Tico says Ben talks all that ish about the Titans playing sorry teams. I bet he wasn't saying that when the Browns and the Bengals were butt booty terrible.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was being nice. But.
Well, I know I wouldn't say anything if I was a Falcons fan. That is for sure. And correct, I was not saying anything because we still had to go through the Ravens and didn't have to go through a Colts team that lost to the Jaguars in the year.
Tico,
I don't talk trash about the NFL because the Falcons are sorry. That's why I don't say nothing.
I know. That's why I said I wouldn't say anything either.
What team is Tico a fan of? It sounds like he's a Titans fan.
And I wasn't trying to. I did throw shade, but it was unintentional shade.
That was shade, man.
I know. I just said it was. But I really wasn't. They were the first team that came to mind. I was trying to make the point that like it is like at least for me personally, I think it makes it a little bit better when you can brag about your team's accomplishments when they've had to really go through a gauntlet. That's the point that I was trying to make. I really wasn't trying to bring down the Titans with me. I know I did, but they were the first team that came to mind because they're one of the teams I am most familiar with and hear about all the time on social media because we live in Tennessee. I again, like the Rams or 49ers, like if I was a Rams or 49ers fan, like I would take pride in making it through the NFC West and then having to make it through the NFC West once again in the playoffs. Like I think that's like a cool little nuance to your accomplishments within a season.
I get that.
And like NBA playoffs, like there is more to be said about making it to the Western Conference Finals or making it to the NBA Finals after going through the West than going through the East. That's the point that I was trying to make. I think your achievements are more rewarding. Like surviving SEC baseball, it was an awesome accomplishment for Tony Vitello last year because it is such a gauntlet, and they were able to. What they finished second, third? I can't remember off the top of my head. They finished up there, and it to me it makes it even more special when you have to go through that gauntlet. That's the point that I was trying to make. I apologize for bringing the Titans down with me.
I get that point. I get that point. You know, Ben, it don't take much for you to offend people, man. Maybe it's
That's
you.
Fine.
Maybe it's a you thing, Ben.
That's fine. What else do we want to talk about? I'll offend somebody else.
I'm offended that I looked at my Twitter account and it said Ben McKee is great. Because I didn't tweet that.
What?
I'm offended. I know what happened.
You shouldn't be offended. You should be ashamed of yourself for leaving your computer open when you walked outside and leaving Twitter right there on the screen as I'm leaving the studio yesterday and it just sitting there waiting for me to tweet from it.
That's a rookie mistake, man.
I did not know I would have to treat Ben like I treat my 6 and 7 year olds.
Oh, you should have. That's where you messed up.
I didn't know that, man. I went outside to throw the ball with Ace because, man, it's been a couple days and he needed to get that energy out. And man, I looked at my phone. Ben McKee is great. Man, you gonna get me in trouble with Twitter, man, for tweeting out misinformation. You gonna get me suspended, man.
How dare you?
865-255-03. Let's take a break, man. Let's take a break. Seth Stokes, Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Man, you can give us a phone call here on the show at 865-255-03. Hour one is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Tennessee, Texas this weekend. Man, we got to get this win.
Do it for Rick.
We got to get this win. We got to get it, man. If Tennessee wins, what would that be? A 4-game winning streak?
Mm-hmm.
4-game winning streak at the end of January, going into February. I'll take that. Must win. Every game's must win. Hour one brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Be right back.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Seth Stokes, Ben McKee, Jason Swain, Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Kentucky Vol in Paducah says, woo, yahoo, Stokes time. You know what it is. It's Friday. D from the 423. I only got one chain, man. I'm not that cool to wear two chains. Swain with the Friday drip, rocking two chains. Him and the wife about to go to the club tonight and get crunk to some Nucky If You Buck. Gonna mess around and be adding the sweetest McKee little friend to play with. D. Nah. Will not be going to the club. Will not be rocking two chains, even though I do have another one. And won't be having the sweetest McKee a play date. We'll buy the sweetest McKee a Barbie. That's the only thing we can do for the sweetest McKee when she is born July 27th. She. My daughters need somebody to play with.
They got each other.
Annie Mizuno, you know I can't read that on there. You know it's funny. Vol Storm says Ben bragging a lot considering his team is in shambles without Big Ben.
No.
That'll be all right. D says,
I will riot. I have said this on the show. I have told Swain this off air. I will riot if Mason Rudolph is my starting quarterback next year. I am going to be madder than a hornet's nest if I have to watch him try to be a starting quarterback for 17 games next year.
But he said all the weight is off now.
I don't care. If I have to watch Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph be the Steelers starting quarterback next year, I am going to be an angry little elf for a very long time.
What's different between now and then?
I'm not angry. I mean, I know you're angry because your team hired somebody to be their coach that nobody's ever heard of, and he's not even an offensive coach.
I don't care about that. You don't have to be offensive coach.
No, but that's what you wanted.
Yeah, but hey, I want a great offensive coordinator. That's what I want. But I'm good. I'm not angry. I'm good to go. My Bears did fire a Ryan and Matt to bring in a Ryan and Matt. The GM was Ryan Pace. They fired him, and they brought in a different Ryan. The head coach was a Matthew. We fired a Matthew and brought in another Matt as head coach. But other than that, man, I'm good. I like where we're going right now with the Bears. I like it. We'll see what happens. All right, go back to the text box. Ben be calling Ja the GOAT, and he can't make it to the Western Conference Finals, though. He might this year. He might. Got to knock off either the Suns or the Warriors to do it, but might. Evil says, I bet Georgia doesn't care about their cakewalk of a schedule. Evil, you can't call their schedule cakewalk when we own it.
I mean, he's not wrong. And some of y'all can't listen. I said it just adds to the feel good at the end of the year if you made it through a gauntlet.
D's just trying to give you crap. That's all he's trying to do.
Not D. Evil. It's like I got if Tennessee was in Georgia's shoes, I would not at all be complaining about the schedule. No, not at all. But I mean, it's as simple as if you go through a gauntlet and you still have success, it is sweeter of a feeling than playing a cupcake schedule.
It is.
That's all. That's the only point that I was trying to make.
And I get that point. Tico says, then he wears a Titans cap and gives us the kiss of death.
Ryan Tannehill gave y'all the kiss of death.
I didn't know that you had on that Oilers hat last Friday.
Yeah, and I
think it was your fault.
That's fine. Probably is. If they were playing again this weekend, I'd be wearing it again today. I like the Titans when they're not playing the Steelers.
I like the Titans too, man. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
They're the Tennessee State team.
That's right.
Yep.
Those are facts. Speaking of Tennessee, man, did y'all see that deal go down yesterday? Did y'all see that deal? Did y'all see 5-star James Pierce sign an NIL deal with Spire Sports Group? Y'all see that? Huh.
Saw a little something about that.
Interesting.
Tell us more.
Well, here's a tweet. It says, Vol Nation, get excited because we've signed 5-star James Pierce to our NIL event series. If you follow along, we have already signed multiple current student athletes. Can't wait for you all to meet James, among other Vols. Stay tuned for more announcements. So I reached out to Spire yesterday. I met with Spire on Wednesday and met with them for about an hour or so. And then yesterday I reached out to them because I had an idea. Only a few times in a month I have good ideas. But I had a good idea yesterday. Well, y'all let me know if it's a good idea. Once a month, we're going to bring them on the show. And we're going to do like a State of the Union. State of the Spire sports world with them to keep the good people updated, in the know about what's going on as much as possible. We're going to do that once a month with Spire Sports Group here on the Swain Event.
I just can't believe.
Good idea? Bad idea?
I think it's a great idea. I'm just still in disbelief that a 5-star was able to get an NIL deal from Tennessee because Tennessee has no idea what it's doing with NIL. I mean, Tennessee is just in shambles.
Let them breathe, man. Let them breathe.
Not able to take advantage of NIL, and NIL is holding Tennessee back. I'm just amazed that a 5-star could get a deal coming to Tennessee. I was told that Tennessee wasn't doing the right things in the NIL world.
Let them breathe, man. Let them breathe. Get your foot off their neck. Oh man. Hey, man. Y'all crazy on this text box.
There's a lot of ignorance out there.
Hey, man. Hey, Real D says Willard won't believe them unless they show him proof written in hieroglyphics.
Willard won't believe it until James Pierce picks up the phone and calls him himself to explain the details of how much money he's making, what he's got to do to get the money.
Oh, my God.
He's going to have to show.
It'll have to be FaceTime.
Yep.
You won't believe him if it's just his voice. It'll have to be FaceTime.
Yes. He may. It's like applying for a house or an apartment.
Yeah.
Willard's going to request that he has sent a pay stub from James Pierce to believe it.
Pay stub, couple of references, signed affidavit.
Oh man,
a letter from the bank signaling that this is a real check.
Oh my goodness!
Access to the account so we can see the deposit go in.
Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! I saw that tweet and I was like, oh. Some people better go back and delete some tweets. Better take down some podcasts. Better revise some articles.
delete.
You might want to get on that.
Matt Hardy, that thing.
Man, you might want to get on GarageBand and start editing some of those segments out. Man. Woo. Oh yeah, I saw that, man. It was that was cool, man. That was cool to see. Really cool to see. But yeah, man, let's do that once a month here on the show with Spire. They come on and just chop it up. Talk about their event series. I'm telling y'all, this thing is laid out. Short term, long term, doing things the right way.
Are you sure?
There are. Yep.
Stokes, I asked Swain this question yesterday, and he said it ties into both, which it does. But for the sake of playing radio, which are you more excited about with Tennessee football long term? What they can do NIL wise, or what they can do with Josh Heupel? Because I said I'm very excited about Josh Heupel, but where Tennessee is sitting NIL wise and what it can do in the future, I mean that has me even more excited about Tennessee football.
Same, and the reason being is because what they can do with the NIL is going to get some of the nation's top players to come to Knoxville. And then when you get some of the nation's top players to come to Knoxville and you pair that with one of the nation's best offensive minds and a great staff, big things are going to happen on the football field, which is going to make everybody excited, even the haters. There's going to be a point, I think, in Tennessee here in the next few seasons that there's not going to be a ton to hate on. You're going to be nitpicking when they don't win by as many as you thought they should win. Like it's going to be that kind of thing, and I'm okay with that. Like as long as they're winning, people, you're not going to please everybody, but yeah, I'm super excited about what they're doing with the NIL stuff, and excited to see the plan that Spire Sports Group is putting together and see that, in action. And you're starting to see it here and there a little bit. And this is one of those big steps forward. And it's a great time to be a Tennessee Vol.
That's right. Even with the Lady Vols dropping a game on the road against Auburn, even with them losing a game to a team that's 2 games below 500, it's okay because it's basketball. You learn from it. You say, yes, we stunk the bed. There's no excuse. We stunk the bed. Had 2 Tennessee assistant coaches who came from Auburn, was tweeting about it before the game. I thought that was a tweet reserved. It should have been reserved for after the game. But those Auburn folks, they use it as motivation. Those girls played their butts off. And anytime Tennessee comes to your arena, you're going to get the best. Why? Because of that Lady Vol brand. And even more so now because Tennessee is back where they are used to being, and that is on top of the SEC, top 5 ranking. So you better just understand that you're going to get everyone's best because you're the Lady Vols. And we didn't bring our best, but hey, you learn from it. You get better. I'm still as encouraged with the Lady Vols now than ever. But that was a nice lesson. If you are Kelly Harper, it's a nice lesson.
It just stinks that it was that loss. That was, you're not going to suffer a more ugly loss. I mean, that was the equivalent of the men's team losing to Georgia. And maybe even worse. That Auburn team was winless in SEC play. The last time they had beaten a top 5 team was when Kelly Harper was Kelly Jolly and a sophomore playing for Tennessee. 1997 or 1998, whichever year that was. Golly, indeed. And I actually made the comment to you, I think yesterday, maybe it was Wednesday. I've been waiting on the Lady Vols to lose because they haven't always passed the eye test per se, but they just keep finding ways to win. And even last night, I mean, they were down. It was an awful first half. And they were able to at least cut it to 8 at halftime. And then they had a great third quarter to take the lead going into the fourth quarter. And then just everything went wrong in that final quarter. And, I mean, even kind of 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, I still felt like Tennessee was going to find a way to pull it out. But it just spiraled out of control. And the freak out is more than it should be because, like you said, Swain, it's the game of basketball. These games happen throughout the year. I just didn't think it would be against Auburn. Like, an 0-7 team in conference play, I didn't expect it to happen then and there. It is a horrific loss and unfortunate because they had just been projected as a 1 seed. Earlier last night, the NCAA came out and released that they could potentially be a host for a top 16, Sweet 16, whatever it is that they do in women's basketball, that they can host the Sweet 16, I think it was, or be guaranteed a top 16 seed. It was just a bad time for an ugly loss, but hopefully they can bounce back. They will bounce back. I mean, they'll still have the ability to make a run. I just didn't think that when they did finally lose, it would be to that Auburn team, because that Auburn team is bad.
Bad.
And remember the other day I told you about Auburn Twitter and how they like to get after the
did they do it?
Oh, they did it. The Lady Vols Twitter account is ratioed right now by the Auburn fans. It is not a pretty sight. Twitter murder is taking place. Swain's looking at it now.
Wow. The first comment is from someone that I know. It's my family's friend's brother. I grew up with in Huntsville. Who's an Auburn fan. The first comment. The first one.
Ouch.
The first one. I'm about to cuss him out. I'm about to text him. Give him a little piece of my mind. He's the first comment here. You gotta be kidding me, man. Steelers fan, by the way, too. The whole family Steelers fan, man.
They're good people.
So, oh man, I can't believe that, man. That's weird. Yeah, they got us 508 comments. Auburn fans something else on Twitter, man, during basketball season.
Here's a question for you about SEC teams losing Stokes. When it comes to the Auburn men's team, I imagine you are as salty as I am about Bruce being ranked number 1 down at Auburn. And of course, he can squeak out a win on the Tuesday after being ranked number 1 while being the coach at Auburn. But can't do it here at Tennessee because, of course, would you rather see Auburn kind of win out the rest of March or the rest of February leading into the Tennessee-Auburn game? Would you kind of prefer to see them still number 1 and with very few losses when they come to Knoxville at the end of February, or would you rather see them lose before then?
I don't know, man. That's tough because Tennessee Stokes. Tennessee struggles with Auburn. And do you want a supremely confident Auburn team walking in here that is feeling themselves, is going to play with a ton of swagger, and Tennessee under Rick has kind of struggled a little bit with Auburn, or do you want to see an Auburn team that's kind of lost their way a little bit and going through a rough patch? I think I want to see the Auburn team that struggled a little bit going through a rough patch, because you don't want Bruce swaggering on into TBA and how that does, and his team swaggering on in here and handing Tennessee an L. Not saying Tennessee can't beat them. I would just rather Auburn be kind of, in the desert, so to speak, after a couple of tough losses, trying to figure things out and unsure of themselves, and Tennessee be able to take advantage of that and get that W and move on about their day. I hate that week against Auburn, or those couple of days around it. It's a very annoying week.
Yes.
Or a very annoying couple of days. Tennessee fans on Twitter get annoying.
Yep.
And I just dislike it. I want the game to be here and over with. Obviously, for the strength of schedule and all that, you want Auburn to be on top and rolling, and Tennessee to smack them down. You want that to happen, but just in general, I don't know. I'd like for that to be a easier matchup for Tennessee.
Yeah, I think if I could play it out, if I was in charge of the world and everybody was my little G.I. Joes and I was controlling the world, I would have Auburn play really, really great basketball right now, play their best basketball and peak too early, and then lose in the tournament. So
I want them number 1 when they come in here.
I think I do too. But I also don't want to go through another whole month of listening to the Auburn and Bruce talk. That's the thing that stinks, is that Tennessee-Auburn game isn't for another several weeks.
I mean, we're doing it right now.
I know, but I don't want to keep doing it.
I don't want to talk about the Auburn-Tennessee game.
But I said I know, but I said I don't want to do it for a month. Talk about Auburn being ranked number 1 under Bruce for a month. I don't want to talk about it for that long.
We don't have to talk about it. That's the thing. We don't have to. It's like let him be ranked number 1. Let him do his thing in Auburn and not worry about it. Like, cool, he's number 1. He's winning. I say worry about it when that game comes around.
Just remember, Bruce, you're my first phone call when Rick decides to retire.
We got all new administration, so hey, you never know.
Anything is possible. Stokes, if you were Bruce,
you're going to Louisville though.
See, we talked about
right.
He ain't going to Louisville.
He ain't going to Louisville, but I was going to ask.
He's going to use Louisville job to get everything he needs at Auburn.
Yes, he will. But also,
and they will give it to him.
Yep.
Like we talked about earlier, Swain, and I wanted to ask Stokes, with the way SEC basketball is growing over the last couple of years, and it will only continue to grow. I think that the SEC is going to become a true powerhouse in basketball and be very similar to what it has become in baseball and softball and women's basketball and even football, because now so many schools are putting a bunch of resources into it. Stokes, I would rather be at Auburn than be at Louisville.
Yes. Especially right now. Yes.
You are 45 minutes away from Atlanta at Auburn.
Tough spot, exactly. Louisville's got some history there, some pedigree, but right now Auburn's hot. Bruce Pearl's got that thing going. Auburn's got deep pockets. It's what a lot of, because Auburn hasn't historically been good in basketball, people don't understand how deep Auburn's pockets are, and their people will spend money. So, like Swain said, Bruce is going to turn that Louisville offering into an offering plate from Auburn and collect on that. And he'll get what he wants. He'll get upgraded facilities. He'll get a bigger paycheck. And he's 45 minutes from Atlanta, recruiting hotbed for college basketball.
And Georgia is boo-boo in basketball.
Right. And Tech isn't any good either.
No. Tech and Georgia, you're right, Stokes. They both butt booty.
And neither one of them should be.
Big-time Georgia schools are bad. And there's no excuse for it.
Yep, for sure. No, don't have to worry about North Carolina as much, Duke as much in recruiting. Like you in the South, man, like you can control. Florida ain't doing anything. So you got that whole area to recruit. So I mean, I'm not going anywhere, especially when you look at Louisville's leadership over the last decade. But
I just think that SEC basketball is becoming a true power.
Yeah, I would take SEC basketball too, because it means more to boosters and people of influence to win at all sports, not just football.
Like the ACC obviously has more basketball history, but the SEC has more people passionate about their school. And those passionate people are now willing to put in the resources to more than just football, because they want to see their school succeed in every way possible.
So here's the thing with SEC fans. So SEC fans for the majority of the conference, for football, they're going to show up for their team no matter what, outside of Vanderbilt. Everybody else is showing up. I mean, and I'm not like throwing shade for the sake of throwing shade. Those are just facts. Like Vanderbilt doesn't have sports fans. It just doesn't. And it's unfortunate for the rest of the conference that they can't represent. It's unfortunate for the school itself that their fans aren't fans of athletics, which is why they don't care. They don't put a ton of money in athletics outside of baseball, because they are a good baseball school. But for football, everybody else is showing up, especially early in the season, and they're showing up and they're getting loud. For every other sport, if that sport is good, fans are going to throw the exact same passion into those sports. So if you can get good and stay good for a bit of time there, SEC football fans will show up to SEC basketball, SEC baseball, and they will be loud, and they will put every other fan base in America to shame. That's just how we roll.
Yep.
We care because sports are what we do in the South.
And we love our school.
Yep. Exactly.
And I'm sorry, SEC schools are more passionate than Virginia fans and Syracuse fans and Boston College and NC State. Sorry, CMAC. Louisville. I mean, I'm not saying that these schools don't have passionate fans, but the SEC fans are far more passionate, and the reach of SEC fans is far deeper. There's simply more. It means more, and there are more.
Like, take Kansas, for example. Like, Kansas fans care about Kansas basketball. Or Kentucky. Kentucky fans care about Kentucky basketball. But stepping outside the SEC, we just use Kansas. Kansas fans care about Kansas basketball, and they're going to show up big to Kansas basketball like Tennessee fans show up big to Tennessee football, right? And it's even if the team's not doing great, they're still going to show up because that's their thing. They don't have football. The basketball is their thing. But you get an SEC school good at basketball, like Tennessee is right now and TBA setting attendance records and stuff, as long as Tennessee's good, Tennessee fans are going to show up just as loud, just as often, just as big, talk just as much crap all year long as Kansas basketball fans are, as long as Tennessee's winning. So as long as you have an SEC school that's winning, it doesn't matter if traditionally they haven't been a great basketball team or it hasn't been a great basketball conference. You win, SEC fans are going to show up, show out, make noise, and be fantastic fans for their programs.
Yep. Chip Payne with the question on the text box. Hey man, can you go down there to Newnan, Georgia, man? Give Chip Payne a hug. He been going through it, man. It's been a tough couple of weeks for old Chip Payne, our guy.
But why? His boy Walker Kessler's been showing out.
This is boy.
Well, isn't Walker from Newnan?
Is he? I don't know.
That's why I said that. I think Walker Kessler's from Newnan. I could be wrong. I know he's from the Atlanta area, which to your point about Auburn being 45 minutes from Atlanta, Walker Kessler and Katie Johnson are both from the Atlanta area, North Georgia. And the fact that they don't play at Tech or in Athens is absurd.
Hotbed. Downtown Vols says, y'all SEC bias is in full force this morning.
That's right. We're hypocrites. We hate the SEC.
Take that, Danny Cadell.
I hate the SEC, but facts are facts. Like there's no bias in facts. It just is what it is. I hate everybody knows I hate the SEC, but SEC fans show up and show out.
Chip says, do you think the big donors are involved as much as they are with basketball, as much as they are with football? Seems like they don't, because Auburn's basketball team is not a dumpster fire like their football team is currently. Well, they just trust Bruce more, and Bruce needs less to be successful than Auburn football needs, because there's more players that have to play at Auburn to be successful than in football than in basketball. Bruce needs, hey man, I need a big old bag for Jabari Smith and a couple little bags here and there. That's all you need. Like, you good. That's all you need. But in football, you got to do a whole lot more. And there's a whole lot more meddling from people in the football. But Bruce gets to do what he wants to do without any interference or questioning. But
their boosters love him too.
Yeah, because he knows how to.
He is their Tony Vitello.
He knows. Yeah.
The way boosters are buying into Vitello is the way that Auburn boosters are buying into Bruce.
Chip says yes, that Walker Kessler is from Newnan.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney Nosell says, will Tennessee use NIL to help Kelly out in recruiting? If so, Gino is about to retire. So when I talk to my guys at Spire, and just kind of, we have our State of the Union sit downs and keep you updated on what's going on. And this summer was, hey, this is what we are about to do. This is what we can do with our experience. And now it's a whole nother level, but there's another level to get to. So as we were talking, Spire Sports Group is not just for football. It's for baseball. It's for basketball.
Tennessee Athletics.
It's for Tennessee Athletics. They are Tennessee fans first and want to see every sport be successful. And so,
right, it's not called Spire's Football Group. It's called Spire's Sports Group. Plural.
So, you think the hockey team and the rugby team are getting hooked up?
I don't know about all that, but I know Tony Vitello should be really happy with Spire, and I know that he is very appreciative that Spire is around, because they can help him a whole lot.
And they are, because current players are being hooked up.
You can get some good deals, man.
Yes, I mean, go look at their Instagram stories. Go look at what they post on Instagram. Evan Russell, yesterday I saw on his Instagram story, I believe they released like 4 or 5 shirts, Evan Russell Tennessee baseball shirts that people can go get. And you've seen current Lady Vols take advantage of NIL this year. Tabari Key, Jordan Horston, they're always promoting their T-shirts that they have created, I guess, And they've also done autograph signings and meet and greets. And, I mean, who knows how much money they've made. But Tamari Key and Jordan Horston appear to have taken full advantage of it this year.
Yeah. Not sure if it was with Spire or not, but, like, Spire is there to help everybody that's rocking orange and white. Tennessee orange and white. So it's not just a football thing. It's not just a football thing. So to answer Rodney's question, stop, D.
D's?
No, D.
D. Let me ask y'all this before Stokes gets out of here.
He got jokes.
Since we're at the top of the hour. After Tennessee beat Florida on Wednesday, Rick Barnes is now 8-7 against Kentucky, 11-2 against Vanderbilt, and 8-2 against Florida. So 8-7 against Kentucky, 11-2 against Vanderbilt, 8-2 against Florida, and those three teams are considered Tennessee's biggest basketball rivals.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 3-5 against Bama, 3-6 against LSU, and 3-7 against Auburn. Does that make y'all feel any type of way, one way or the other? Does that conjure up any emotions or?
Yeah, style of play. I mean, we talked about this, man. I mean, the style of play from those teams that Rick struggled with. I mean, that's something that we have discussed, and they have a lot of offensive freedom.
But do those records against Auburn, LSU, Bama bother you? Because I think but let me finish the question. I asked that because I know because if you would have told me the day that Rick Barnes is hired that, what year is this? Year 7, year 6, that in 2022 on January 28th, Rick would be 8-7 against Kentucky. Vanderbilt would be 11-2. He would be 11-2 against Vanderbilt and 8-2 against Florida. Like, I would have signed up for that right then and there, and whatever else happens. Like, I'll be happy regardless. But I sense this frustration from Tennessee fans, despite him being so successful in rivalry games, because he hasn't been able to get over the hump against LSU, Auburn, and Alabama.
There should be frustration, and like look at football. 2016, Tennessee beats Georgia and Florida, but then craps the bed against South Carolina and Vanderbilt, and misses out on a chance to go to Atlanta. You have to win the games that you should win, on top of having a winning record against your rivals. Like, it should be frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. That's the biggest knock on Rick is the fact that there's a lot of inconsistency there.
I am tickled and thrilled to death of where we are and the stability that we have with Rick Barnes. But I'll be lying if I didn't say I did not want more. Like, I don't want a below 500 record against anybody. Why would anybody be okay with that? I mean, I'm not okay with that. But I'm glad that we are in the position that we're in, and we're not, Georgia. We're not some of these other programs out here that can't make anything. They keep missing. Texas, Memphis. Like, I'm happy where we are, but I want us to take the next step. I want more. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I agree with both of what you all are saying, but I also feel like folks are taking for granted what he has done against Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Florida. For sure.
I guess basketball programs.
I guess that's
the last 25 years.
Yes, and not even just the fact that they're good basketball programs over the last 25 years. It's the fact that losing to those teams in basketball historically have been the ones that drive us the most crazy. And now it seems like folks are taking wins over those teams for granted.
Oh, man, I hate that we only have a couple seconds, because I had a question for Stokes that would have started a whole nother conversation, man. Oh, dang it. I had a good one, Stokes. We'll get your take on it another time. We'll rock it.
Okay.
We'll rock it in hour number 2. We'll start it off with touchdown turnover. Stokes, my friend, man, have a good weekend. Be careful on that road.
And y'all have a great weekend as well. Go Vols and stay safe out there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Big thanks to Stokes for joining us. Hour number 1 brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. HappyHiller.com. Hour 2 is coming up. Stay with us.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Hey there, Swain Event fam. I've been thinking about other ways I can assist you with the real estate world. As you know, it's not just about buying, selling, and investing in new property today. It's also being a resource when you need a contractor or roofer. Or maybe you need a real estate attorney to assist with probate questions. Or maybe you have a family member in Alabama that needs a realtor to help them sell their home and get the heck out of there and back to Tennessee. All of these things and more are in my wheelhouse. So give me a call, Jennifer Morris, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 2 is brought to you by Action 247, Tennessee's only legal sportsbook. Use the promo code Swain Event for a 100% match on your first deposit up to $800. Touchdown turnover backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. And Ben, I got something good for you. We're going to the world of college football for today's touchdown turnover. Miami's offensive line coach, Alex Maribal, during an elite prospect day, so junior day, something like that, told the prospects, "We got rid of the turnover chains. We're here to play football." Touchdown turnover. Major reaction major overreaction that Miami is getting rid of the turnover chain. Major overreaction that Miami is getting rid of the turnover chain. For those that don't know what the turnover chain is, I'll add some context. When the defense, and we've seen schools all around the country, started on defense. When the defense makes a play, get a turnover, Georgia, they got these spiky shoulder pads. We've seen Tennessee, trash can. We've seen, Alabama do things. Miami had the turnover chain. It's big old gold chain with Miami logo on it, and whoever gets the turnover wears the chain. So Miami said they're getting rid of that because they're just there to play football. Touchdown turnover, major overreaction.
Overreaction by the coaches to get rid of it?
Yes.
No. Turnover. I love it. And the turnover chain was fun when Miami first started doing it, but it became very corny pretty quick. And I realized a lot of schools all over the country adopted turnover-themed gimmicks, but the Miami defense was more about the turnover chain than actual production on the field. I mean, that first year they had it, when the Miami defense was legit, they were more about production than the turnover chain. But kind of since that inaugural season, it's been all bark, no bite from the Miami defense. And it was more so the Miami offense that got Manny Diaz in trouble, but it's not like the Miami defense was playing Georgia-level defense. So I like that Mario Cristobal came in and got rid of it. Something needs to change within that Miami program. Things can't stay the same if they want to get back to where they were. So turnover, I don't think it's an overreaction whatsoever. I liked it. I saw this and I liked it.
I think it's an overreaction because you can do both. You can play football. I don't think the turnover chain has anything to do with the lack of success inside that Miami program. You got to recruit better. You're losing players to SEC programs in your backyard. Recruit better. You got to get better leadership from your AD. This is why you went out and got a different one. You got to get fans in the seats. And a turnover chain to motivate guys to make a play. I mean, you shouldn't need a chain to motivate you to make a play, but like, it's fun. Like, it's fun looking. Like, it's cool on the sideline, the energy with the offense, the defense, everyone. Whether it's putting on a chain or putting on shoulder pads or someone ducking a basketball, like it's kind of looks kind of fun. And at the end of the day, the game is supposed to be fun. I don't think the turnover chain has anything to do with them, winning games. I think it's a overreaction. I'm gonna say touchdown, but this is what you see when you have a coaching change. Like, the new coach, new administration comes in and they want to change and do everything opposite the previous person did. Everything. Like, Butch Jones was fired. The next guy comes in and everything was like done opposite. Well, Butch didn't do everything wrong. Did a lot of things wrong. Did a lot of things right. But we did the total opposite of what Butch Jones did. Now, how do you feel about the daddy cap?
I love it. But see, the difference is, to me, is like there's nothing wrong with having fun. Like you said, I completely agree. You can do both. You can take the game seriously in between the white lines and then have fun once you get to the sideline. But for me, like I said, the turnover chain became more about the turnover chain than the play on the field.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case with the daddy hat. Like, Tennessee handled its business in between the white line, and it was more about the play on the field. It was more about hitting piss missiles and hitting bombs and taking care of business on the field, and then coming back to the dugout and putting on the daddy hat. And it was like the cherry on top or the icing on the cake. So to me, that's kind of what the difference is.
Yeah.
Like, you have to earn the right to not to have fun, but to have, that type of fun. That makes sense. Like you have to handle your business before you're able to go out and do those type of things. Tennessee baseball doesn't need to be rocking the daddy hat if it's one of the worst offenses in the SEC and flirting with 500. You've got to handle your business before you can go to that extreme of fun, in my opinion.
And we don't know the inside and, of the reason. There might be multiple reasons why they get rid of it. But I like it. I think it's a pretty cool part of the college game. I wish we had something like that. You got to make sure that it's not corny. Can't be corny, but anytime you can generate some energy on the sideline with a big play, and you have a prop like that's not too overbearing or too polarizing, and gets in the way of, like, the trash can was like too much. Oh, it was so corny. It was too much. But something subtle to where, like, the kids get hyped for. Like, for us, getting knockdowns. You got recognized for pancakes on Monday afternoon meetings. Like, whoever had the most, you stood up in front of the whole team, and you got that congratulations. Like, something like that is really, really cool. Because
did you all have any receivers that would run onto the field and pour the syrup on the DB?
No, man, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. But your boy did get recognized a couple times for having some of the most pancakes in the course of a game
against Jay Wade.
I ain't play
in practice.
They didn't do it in practice. We didn't tackle and cut each other in practice. I wanted to.
This may be a stupid question.
It probably is. Go for it.
Probably. But see, unlike the rest of human beings out there, unlike everybody else listening, I can make fun of myself. I can admit that I ask stupid questions and say stupid things. So really, I think y'all should be more like me.
I agree.
But did it feel as good to pancake somebody as it did to catch a ball? Not catch a touchdown, because obviously catching a touchdown has got to be a better feeling for sure. But just simply catching a pass, did it feel just as good to pancake somebody? Because it seems to me like it would.
It felt better.
To pancake somebody?
Yeah, it felt better taking a dude and with two hands,
just manhandling him
and running him into the ground. It's better than catching a pass.
Like, I love the videos of a receiver running the DB into a sideline.
Yeah, it's like catching a touchdown is great. Don't get me wrong, but like there's just something about taking a DB and just running his head right into the dirt. Oh man. I bet if you asked Jawan Jennings which one that he liked better, the touchdown pass, what he called on Jalen Tabor, or him taking Florida DBs to the ground consistently in that game, he probably would say taking them to the ground.
Hey, go back to the 49ers-Cowboys game. I bet Jawan would say he enjoyed cracking Trevon Diggs more than he did those key catches on third down.
So it's just something about it, man. Just something about it. Because, like, you are, like, physically taking their soul out of their chest, man. Like, it's just something about it. Something about it. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen, they can like attest. It's like different.
It's like just a manliness to it.
It's different.
It's just dominating somebody. Even just in life in general, like growing up and maybe scrapping with somebody on the court, playing pickup ball or backyard football. I mean, there's just a great feeling when your manliness comes out. Like, this doesn't even compare. But when I was a junior in high school, every Friday when we weren't in baseball season, we would go play football after school at one of my buddies' houses. And, I mean, there'd be a bunch of us. And there's this big old thick kid that would come play. I remember his name, Joe.
That's a nice way to call him fat, Ben.
Yes, but he wasn't like fat. He was like a short, stocky, fullback-looking type of guy.
He was fat. Fat kid.
And actually,
just say it, Ben. He was a Cartman.
And actually, this kid has turned into a criminal. Built by Buckhorn, baby. Building criminals brick by brick.
Is he in or is he out?
I think he would still be in. I haven't kept up with him, but with what he did, I think he would still be in. But he was a big old boy, much thicker than me. especially high school Ben. And I remember I caught a pass, and I turned around, and this dude was trying to run me over, and I ran over him. I mean, back hit the ground. I cockroached him. He was laying on his back like a cockroach, and he had tire marks all over his belly and his face from where I ran over him. And it was such a great feeling, like to the point where I still think about it this day. So I can only imagine what it would be like to do it in a college game or an NFL game.
Oh yeah,
Just asserting your manliness,
your will, man, imposing your will on somebody.
Just in all walks of life. I mean, not even sports. Just being able to show off your manliness. Oh, such a great feeling. Don't you just love to be a manly man? I feel like we should be on a Jim Beam commercial right now.
No.
Well, not Jim Beam, but what's the little like beef jerky where it's the Sasquatch commercials?
Oh yeah, that one.
I'm forgetting what
they're
called.
Yeah.
The little meat sticks.
yeah. Like I'm gonna be quiet. The Brady says, Ben, what's the real deal with Tidwell? Have heard reports he's out for sure. Have heard out indefinitely. I saw some things too. Won't be started the season, Ben, but what are the details on Blade Tidwell?
I have not heard that he's going to miss the season. To me, that is an overreaction. What I have heard is that he is hopefully going to be back by April, and that this is just being real cautious. It is the Garrett Crochet situation all over again. He is Garrett Crochet 2.0. And for those who are not familiar with the Garrett Crochet story, Garrett Crochet, who now pitches for Swain's lovely Chicago White Sox, he in the COVID-shortened year, so 2020, going into his junior season at Tennessee, projected first-round pick, and he was just dealing with some general arm soreness. So because of his draft stock, Tennessee was being very cautious with him and shut him down and was only going to throw him out there when he was completely good to go because of his draft stock. And so Blade Tidwell is he's okay right now. He's just not good enough to pitch in a game because of his draft stock, if that makes sense. It's not worth it to run him out there right now. He's been dealing with this since the end of fall. He would feel good after he throws a bullpen, and he would be sore, and it would just lead to more stiffness in his shoulder than usual, and just kind of took him a little more time to get over throwing a bullpen. He would feel good while throwing the bullpen. It was just the soreness and the stiffness afterwards that was a little more than it should be. And so he's still kind of dealing with this, and because of his draft stock, they are just being super cautious with him. So I have not heard that he's going to be out for the year. And I believe that the target date is for him to be back by April, and that they are just being super cautious because of his draft stock, as they should be. And Tony has always maintained that they are going to err on the side of caution, and Tony is being genuine when he talks about erring on the side of caution. He's not like some of these other college coaches who are just going to try to do what's best for the baseball program. Tony's going to do right by the player first, and he has plenty of evidence to support that. So this is all precautionary from what I have heard. But it is a big loss. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he is supposed to be the ace of the staff, will be the ace of the staff when he returns, would have been the first guy to take the mound on Friday, February 18th in Tennessee's first game against Georgia Southern. Arguably could have been the best pitcher in the SEC this season. Still may be the best pitcher in the SEC this season if everything goes according to plan and he gets back. But it is a very significant loss, especially after Seth Halverson, the Missouri transfer. He's got a fracture in his arm, and he's going to be out until about April as well. He's been shut down for 6 weeks without throwing a baseball, and he's about midway through that. And they'll have to ramp him back up after he gets those 6 weeks under his belt, and hopefully he'll be back by the beginning to mid-April. But those are two big arms that Tennessee was going to count on, and they're out. So Tennessee's going to need some guys to step up. Still have quite a bit of pitching, but going to need some names that people aren't as familiar with to step up and take a step forward and be productive until those guys get back. Does sound like Tennessee may add some help. Picked up a transfer between the fall and spring semester, and waiting to get clearance from the NCAA for him to be eligible. And and I know,
NCAA hates baseball.
Yes, but that player is Ethan Smith. He was a pitcher for Vanderbilt from Mount Juliet. Didn't throw a ton during his time at Vanderbilt, but when he did throw, he was productive, and he has been viewed as one of the top draft prospects in the past. As a sophomore in 2020, Perfect Game ranked him as the 92nd best draft prospect in 2020, and then D1 Baseball had him as the SEC's 33rd best draft prospect that year as well. Only threw 12.2 innings last year for Vanderbilt, but was really good in his appearances. So sounds like Tennessee could have some help on the way if he can get cleared by the NCAA.
Who's on the phone?
DR Vol.
DR Vol, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Ben, you were referencing Tony V not running him to the ground. Made me think of Arkansas and Vanderbilt. Did Kumar, did he ever sign that contract for his professional contract?
Nope. And funny that you bring Kumar up. Swain and I were talking about Kumar and the Rockers yesterday because Tim Corbin had his, I guess, beginning of the season press conference on Wednesday or yesterday morning, and said and was asked about Kumar. And Kumar is supposedly going back and forth from Knoxville to California, and he's not playing for anybody this year, and he's just kind of preparing to do the draft all over again. And he's doing so here in Knoxville and in California, and that's because the Rockers, Tracy and I forget Mama's name. I don't know if you remember off the top of your head, but they decided to keep their house out in Farragut after Tracy Rocker's time at Tennessee came to an end. So he's been going back from Knoxville to California, just kind of waiting for this year's draft to do it all over again.
It's a shame we couldn't get him to play this year.
Yep, that I know. He'd be big time, but sounds like he may play some independent league baseball in the meantime.
Well, guys, y'all know me. I'm always prepared to jump off the cliff. I don't have to get ready. I stay ready, and I don't have to put the cup on because it stays on. Ben, we've lost 2 starters. I mean, how do you think we're going to fare until they return?
Well, Seth Halverson wasn't going to start. He was going to be one of the top bullpen guys. If Blade Tidwell was healthy, I thought the rotation was going to be Blade Tidwell on Friday night, Chase Dolander, the transfer from Georgia Southern. He was going to be your number 2 starter, and there's a feeling that he is a future first-round pick. So you're going to have potentially – really your rotation was going to be 3 future first-round picks if everything goes according to plan. Tidwell on Friday, Dolander from Georgia Southern on Saturday, and then Blake Tidwell 2.0 and Chase Burns, the star freshman from Hendersonville who played at Beach. He's going to be your Sunday starter. So Halverson wasn't going to start. He was just going to be one of your top arms out of the bullpen. And now that Tidwell is going to miss some time, I would expect Camden Sewell to slide into a starter role, and you'll have Dolander, Sewell, and Burns. So your starting rotation is still going to be really good. It's just the depth of the staff as a whole, particularly with the bullpen. It's gonna have to step up. You've got Redmond Walsh coming back. You can rely on him. You're going to need Kirby Connell to be good. You've got a kid named Ben Joyce who is from Knoxville. He's working his way back from Tommy John. He missed all of last season due to it, and he throws as hard as all get out. He was clocked throwing 103 a couple of weeks ago. 103 in the bullpen over at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and he needs to work on some command, and I'm sure he'll be somewhat rusty because this will kind of be his first game action. He did pitch in the fall and looked pretty good, but command is kind of a question mark, and he'll be a question mark until he fully asserts himself. But going to need some guys to, like I said, just guys that people aren't as familiar with. They're going to have to step up and pitch well. But I trust Frank Anderson to make sure his pitching staff is good to go.
103 or no control, so he's basically Charlie Sheen Wild Thing.
Maybe not that extreme, but yes. And I'm not saying he doesn't have any control, but and that's the most case with any guy that throws that hard. Just learning how to command it. He should be able to come in and throw strikes, but that is kind of his bugaboo at times. Not all the time, but at times.
Man, when I was in high school playing ball, I went up against a guy. He ended up pitching AAA for the Padres, but he was throwing in the 90s in high school. And I was throwing up Hail Marys, and I'm not Catholic when I had to get up and bat against him. Guys, you ever talk about that turnover chain? For me, a lot of it's self-awareness. I saw ESPN, I think it was yesterday, showing a clip. And Miami had gotten out the turnover chain, and they were down like 49-10 Alabama. And it kind of reminds me of Frank Beamer getting so excited when they scored and cut the deficit from 38-7.
Shane?
So a lot of it's self-awareness, guys, to me.
You mean Shane Beamer?
Shane, yeah. It kind of looks like Frankie Muniz. That's why I said that.
You know how hard it was for me not to tweet when Shane Beamer was in Monterio Hardesty's high school and pointing to his picture, his college picture, with him wearing orange and, said wrong color. Boy.
He did that? I did not see this.
Yeah, Shane Beamer's tweet. Yeah, go check it out.
When was this?
It was yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I know he was playing the game. I know he has a lot of respect for Tennessee. I know that. And I know he was just trying to show out for them retweets and likes.
He was trying to get that DR Vol Twitter clout.
Mm-hmm. He wishes he had DR Vol's Twitter clout. He wishes.
That right there triggers me, Swain, because I've said it for years. Hardesty's my favorite Tennessee running back. I was there the night the infamous spin move against South Carolina. That pisses me off, honestly.
You see it right there, Ben.
I see it. Yeah. I just why would you tweet this when you got beat down by them this year?
I thought it was a pretty dumb tweet, but you just reminded everybody how Tennessee put them hands on you.
And there's that famous.
Are y'all honestly surprised though? I mean, look at their fan base celebrating all they did, over us after we kicked their teeth in, about the co-coach of the year and all that crap.
I saw some fans talk about how Spencer Rattler is better than Hendon Hooker, and I was like,
I'm not touching that conversation.
I was like, yeah, skill set wise, projection wise, I'm sure Spencer could throw the ball better and make all the throws, but you can't say that after this past season. Spencer has not proven it that he is better than Hendon just yet. He may be this year, but he hasn't proven it yet. So you can't say that
and
now.
What I would say is that forget that, like you said, he Spencer Rattler has a better natural skill set than Hendon, but I would rather have Hendon leading my football program than that little old bum Spencer Rattler.
You can see it coming a mile away, guys. We've had those transfers but I know they were junior college, but we've had Convo and Dontavius Blair and stuff like that. I've got so many tweets saved for when we just do exactly what we did this fall, next fall to them. South Carolina's just getting so obnoxious to me. Their fan base, their coach, the Rattler. Because I agree, man. 100 times out of 100, I'd rather have Hooker over Rattler.
Yeah. I think it'll be a harder game to win, but I like our chances, and I'm looking forward to revisiting this tweet once Tennessee put them hands on the Gamecocks again.
Yes, Shane Beamer is doing good things at South Carolina right now, but you can't be talking out the side of your mouth when you got beat down the way that you did in Knoxville. And there's a famous screenshot of you from the game celebrating like you won the Super Bowl when you're down, 31-7, 38-7?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough, man. It was rough. DR Vol, man, stay out of trouble this weekend.
Hey, y'all have a great weekend, guys.
You too. Looking at the comments here on YouTube, Daryl says, can you guys talk about how the instability within the football program has affected recruiting? Kentucky winning our state in recruiting brought this up. Great show, guys. How is Kentucky winning? Like winning in Tennessee?
They're winning the perception battle.
The perception battle. That is what they are winning. And they tried to pretend like they were a serious football program by trying to pull some of our kids into the portal. They tried to pull some of our kids in the portal. And then when it came time to bust a move, they didn't follow through. So they're winning the perception battle. It looks like Kentucky is just crushing Tennessee in recruiting because you have a kid from Tennessee that you would assume Tennessee wants, but in two cases that we have talked about on this program, Tennessee did not want to bring in a player and promise him a real chance at a position knowing that he was not going to be a quarterback. So,
and only time will tell whether Tennessee was right or wrong.
Correct. And then another player that was ranked high, Tennessee, along with the other schools in the SEC, said no thank you. So I don't look at that as like Tennessee's getting crushed by Kentucky in recruiting. I know the looks of it looks that way, but I just don't think that is that's accurate. Now Tennessee has a lot to do in recruiting and got to win battles in the Carolinas and go get guys in Georgia and go get players here and there. Tennessee is not knocking out of the park. Tennessee finished strong in recruiting this past early signing period, but I'm not going to sit here and agree with Kentucky beating Tennessee down in recruiting. I'm not going to buy that. LaCrue says, when we're talking about James Pierce being a 5-star, LaCrue says 5-star according to On3 only. Well, On3 took all of 247's top folks, and Shannon Terry is building another mega company. So On3 has some really good guys that evaluate. Not saying that they're not good folks over there still at 247, but we didn't do all this when Harrison Bailey was only ranked a 5-star on Rivals. I want to know what LaCrue was thinking about that when Harrison Bailey was just a 5-star on Rivals.
Huh? What?
I mean, I'm just saying.
I plead the fifth.
Sometimes it's only one site that has a guy as a 5-star. I don't really care if James Pierce was a 4 or a 5-star. He's a good player. He's a player that Tennessee feels like will be a next level player, an NFL player, a championship level type of player. That's how they feel about him. So I don't care if he's a 4-star or a 5-star, to be honest. As long as they feel like he's an NFL guy, they feel like he's a championship level player. That's the only criteria that matters to me. But don't be trying to downplay a kid for just getting a 5-star on one site. Because if we're being honest here, On3 about to be one of the best ones here soon. 865 255 Nah, Ben, you just breathe and don't say nothing. You just take a little deep breath and don't say nothing.
I had two things I would like to say on a different subject. Two different subjects.
Good idea.
First, in relation to James Pierce, earlier in the show, Chip Payne asked us on the text box about James Pierce's academics. And yes, that is a concern, and that is something that he needs to get figured out before he can get to Tennessee. But at the moment, it is a minor concern because that appears to be in the process of being handled. Like, as long as he takes care of business this spring from an academic standpoint, he's going to be fine. He'll be here in May. So, yes, he does need to take care of his academics, but he's in the process of doing so, and there's a strong belief that he'll be here in May, no issues. The other thing I wanted to mention, I feel like a proud dad right now.
Why?
Because look at that. Look at that question from JL in the text box. What does it say? He asked me a direct question. What does it say?
Ben, what happened to Tidwell?
No, that's not what it says. Refers to...
I can't see, man. I got glaucoma.
All right, Jameis.
I can't see. I can't see.
Refers to Blade Tidwell's nickname. I feel like a proud... Maybe I shouldn't be a proud dad, considering what Blade Tidwell's nickname is, and that's what he is referencing. But I feel like a proud uncle.
Uncle's perfect.
Yes,
drunk uncle.
I don't know about drunk uncle, but the uncle that the parents don't want the kid to be around.
That's you?
In this moment, celebrating somebody referencing Blade Tidwell as Titty, yes, that is me.
That's his nickname.
Baseball players come up with the best nicknames. The best. I've been trying to talk my wife into some baseball nicknames for my son if we have a boy, and so far she's not been going for any of them.
You should name your son Tidwell. Tidwell McKee.
I think Titty McKee.
You can do that too.
I tried to go for Trout, but she wasn't going for that one. Trout McKee, inspired by Mike Trout. Like, how awesome would Trout be for a baseball name? Like, if my son grew up to be a great baseball player, Trout McKee, and now stepping to the plate, Trout McKee.
Or if he was like on the Bass Pro Tour or something.
Hey, if it gets him a scholarship, I'm game.
They got fishing scholarships?
Oh yeah.
Whatever, man. Whatever it takes, right?
She wouldn't go for Bubba either. Bubba?
Nah, man.
That's a good baseball nickname.
It's terrible. It's terrible, man. Real friends tell you the truth. It's terrible. Don't do it.
What about Benny?
Benny's okay because he'd be a junior.
Well, Savannah doesn't want a junior.
Yeah. She says one being is good enough.
Does it have to be a junior if it's not my full name? If it's like my full name is Benjamin Thomas McKee. If it's Benny Scott McKee, is that technically a junior?
No.
Because my name is Benjamin.
It's not technically a junior.
Thank you. That's what I've been saying.
But you ain't slick. You're trying to ease your way around the back door by naming him Benny, so that way you can refer to him as junior.
Can we call her and wake her up right now and you vouch for me? Why?
Nope. You can get me in trouble. Nope.
You're supposed to be a good friend. Friends are supposed to back each other when they have ideas. And you're not backing me right now. I don't appreciate it.
Nope. How much of the offense is being called by Golish versus Josh Heupel? Josh Heupel calls the plays. He calls the plays.
But Alex Golish does legitimately have a lot of say in game planning throughout the week.
A lot of say. Heupel gives his coaches a lot of room to coach, and you can even ask the question: does he give them too much of a say? So, only time will tell if it's enough, or if it's too much, or if it's not. If it's not enough, we'll know. But right now, it works out. It is working out, but Heupel calls the plays with a ton of input from Golish. Heupel values his assistant coach's opinion. He doesn't micromanage them. He does not value their opinion. I mean, they do have a say, which is why we didn't have any attrition with our coaching staff. Any. This offseason. 865-255-03. Be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com. When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Litter is a big problem in Tennessee, but together we can do big things. We can make our cities, our waterways, our roads cleaner and safer. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is committed to reducing litter in our communities, but we need your help to do it. There are over 100 million pieces of litter in our roads at any given time, and it costs TDOT about $19 million a year just to clean it up. The first step to keeping Tennessee beautiful is to rally behind these 3 simple words. Nobody trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy. If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit, you get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
All right, we're going to Alabama for today's For What. Of course, we're going to Alabama. This is wacky as wacky gets. The title, Alabama man accused of keeping meth-fueled attack squirrel faces new charges. Mickey Polk was arrested in 2019 after authorities received a tip about the alleged drugged squirrel. Aside from the rodent, police found body armor and meth. NBC News affiliate WAFF of Huntsville reported Monday that Polk was set to start a bench trial that was continued until the end of February because of Polk's attorney was not present in court. He was arrested in 2019 and charged with the possession of a wild animal, stolen property, and weapon possession by a felon. The Limestone County Sheriff's Office released images of the alleged attack squirrel. Yo, this squirrel is swole. This looks like a beefed up Alvin from the Chipmunks, man. I mean, he really does, even though I know one's a chipmunk, one's a squirrel, but that's what he looks like. After releasing the squirrel into the wild, now why would you do that? Why would you release the squirrel into the wild? Now you're gonna be beating up and bullying all the regular squirrels.
Yeah, like I'm not for animal cruelty, but this may be a squirrel that needs to be put down.
I mean,
there are enough squirrels in the world to where we can afford to lose this one. No different than being run over on the road.
The sheriff's department said there was no safe way to test the squirrel for meth. What is going on? Oh. NBC News reported in 2009 that Polk showed up in a later social media video saying that his pet squirrel, which he said he had raised since it was young, returned to the sound of his whistle when he visited the home after the police raid. So the police come to the house. He told the squirrel to run. The coppers are here. Run, squirrel, run. And then when the police came and left, he blew a whistle and the squirrel came back. Oh my gosh, man! I thought this was made up when I first saw it.
No, all I needed to see was Limestone County, and I knew this was a real story. Now,
This is real.
When I first saw WAFF, I was thinking, okay, this happened in Coleman, or Decatur, or Hartselle, Scottsboro, South Pittsburgh, where Rodney and Austell, the street he grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of where I expected it. But then I saw Limestone County. I was like, okay, this makes sense too. Limestone County, it is a place where if you could envision Limestone County, it would be people that you would think that would try to raise these type of squirrels.
Park says the public isn't endangered from the meth out squirrel in the neighborhood. With a chuckle, he's not on meth. I'm pretty sure. He just said meth out squirrel. Better not find out he's on meth anyways. I don't think he likes taking that as that ish. What a crazy story. Limestone Correctional Facility is where I did my Scared Straight program, by the way. It's the prison. It's the prison. Right there close to Huntsville. So I think it's about 35, 45 minutes away from the house. 865-255-03. That is my for what? What is yours for today?
I am giving Jeff Garcia a for what today. Jeff Garcia gets today's for what? The former 49ers quarterback did not like what Mina Kimes had to say about Jimmy Garoppolo, as if Mina Kimes was just saying things that weren't true. But Jeff Garcia took to, well, I guess I'll give you Mina Kimes' comments first. On First Take on Tuesday, Mina Kimes says, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't the reason they're winning. They're winning with him, but not because of him. He posted the second lowest QBR in 15 years against the Packers. Kimes said he was trying to give the game away in the second half with interceptable balls, and that this has been a playoff trend for him. Since joining the Niners, he has 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in the postseason. These are not advanced statistics. The dude is just simply not helping them win. Seems pretty spot on to me.
Seems pretty spot on, and something that we've heard every analyst say about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Except it's a problem when the female analyst says it, because Jeff Garcia took to Instagram and said, who the blank is Mina Kimes? And when is the last time she threw a touchdown pass in a game? Never, ever has she taken a snap or can truly understand the ability, the mindset, the physical and mental toughness that it takes to play the quarterback position or any position in the NFL.
So was Mina wrong in what you said, Jeff? About
no.
Garoppolo? He just want to get that off his chest.
He wants to get that off his chest. He went on, and it gets even worse. The fact that there are people out there given a platform to talk about something that they have never done is hilarious, and that's how you have to look at her. She's a joke. So let's just laugh at her and support Jimmy. Root on our Niners to go out and beat the living blank out of one more team. That's what it takes. She will never know that feeling. Can I get an amen? Peace.
Yeah, this is where Jeff lost me. The fact that there are people out there giving a platform to talk about something that they have never done is hilarious. And that's how you have to look at her. She's a joke. So we're not supposed to talk about things that we haven't done ourselves? Like, I occasionally watch movies. I'm not a actor. I'm not a film director. So I can't give you my opinion on the movie just because I'm not an actor. I mean, that makes no sense. You can't give your political opinion unless you are a politician. That makes no sense. Like, there's a lot of people that make better points about football than people that have played the game of football.
Today is my last show, Swain.
Done?
I'm done. I did not play high school football. I did not play college football. I did not play NFL football. This is a show that is primarily based on football. So today is my last show, Swain. I think you need to get somebody in here that played the game and that really knows how to break it down. Because I'm just talking hot air. Just hot air is coming out of my mouth.
You don't have to play a sport to be an expert in the sport and know what you're talking about. Now, if you are someone that never played before and you are never around the game, like if you're never around it as a reporter, you're not at press conferences, you're not at practice, it's really hard to pick up on the game and learn little nuances here and learn about what it takes to win. But if you're always at practice, you're talking to coaches, you're gonna know what's going on, and you're gonna be more informed than the man who sits at the couch or sits on the couch and is just watching TV. You're not in the trenches. You're not beating the pavement. You're not connecting with players who are currently in the NFL. Like Mina Kimes has those connections. Like she could talk to 5 DBs from different teams around the league and get that about Jimmy Garoppolo. And that would have been more valuable than a male 49ers fan who just follows the team. Covering football is just not a man's duty. Like a woman can do it. If she's good at it, she can do it. Just like there's men that can do things that women are known to do more than history. But you can do it too. Like this whole trying to put out a woman just because she covers the game of football, I don't get it, because like there's a lot of females in this game, man, that know what they're talking about. Like Doris Burke is one of the best analysts, period. When Kara Lawson was an analyst, she was one of the best, period. Male, female, did not matter. So yeah, man, Garcia gets a for what? I mean, Mina Kimes said it, what everybody else said. Yes. She basically has the same feeling as the 49ers front office. It's why they drafted freaking Trey Lance. It's why people think that Garoppolo's last season is this year. People are only saying what the 49ers front office, what they have been doing, but he want to pop off at Mina. Pop off at some of these dudes that had the same take as her.
Yes. And here's the difference. Mina Kimes, I watch NFL Live. It is appointment television for me.
It's a good show.
Because it is great.
It's a good show.
Marcus Spears, Laura Rutledge, Dan Orlovsky, Ryan Clark, Adam Schefter, Mina Kimes, all the personalities on there. A, they have awesome personalities.
Yeah, that's great.
And B, they know how to talk about the game. It is appointment television for me every single week. Last 2 years since it was created. Mina Kimes doesn't get on there and break down the game from an X's and O's standpoint like Dan Orlovsky does, or like Marcus Spears does, or the way that Ryan Clark does. That's not her role, and she knows that's not her role. And she gets on there and she breaks the game down from other perspectives. And again, like she said, she was just sharing factual information, and it wasn't even groundbreaking stats. Mina is really into analytics, and like she said, this isn't even analytics. This is just straight facts, homie. 2 touchdowns to 5 interceptions in the postseason. You don't have to have played football at an NFL level to understand that is bad. There's a way to go about doing things, and she is great at it. I don't ever try to get on here and talk X's and O's because that's not my level of expertise. I do think that I know football better than the common person that did not play, because I watch it a ton. I read about it a ton. I love football. And for somebody who didn't play, I love the X's and O's side of things. I love learning about it. There's 2 or 3 podcasts that I listen to that are devoted to X's and O's because I love learning about football. I think it's fascinating. But I don't get on here and try to act superior and say, Josh Heupel should have called this play on 2nd and 7 because of this and that. That's not me. That's Swain's role. But I don't have to have played football to be able to break down the game or really any other sport.
No.
As long as you pay attention, and Mina Kimes is one of the best at it.
No. As long as you put your work in and do your homework, and you can cover this game, be pretty damn good at it. And you put that effort in, that's the main key. I have worked with Brent Hubbs on several different occasions since my playing days. And Hubs is one of the best in the business. And I don't know if Hubs can even catch a football. I don't know if he can catch one. But it don't matter. It don't matter because he knows what he's talking about. And there's a lot of coaches that have coached this game that have never played. They're pretty damn good too. Andy Reid's one of them. All right, let's get to hour number 3.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the NN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Let's go to the phones to start hour number 3 here. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. 865-255-03. Here's our number to the Irish Networks hotline. Dave Toner, good morning. Dave Toner, good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing good. Listen, I just want to encourage all the Vol fans not to worry about South Carolina game costs because we will unleash our can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Let me buzz you back. I got an echo.
Tennessee, Texas this weekend, Ben. Tennessee 14-5, Texas 15-5. Texas is not ranked. Why are they not ranked? But they basically have the same record as us. You can actually say it's a little bit better because they have one more win, but they haven't played anybody. They haven't played anybody at all. And the teams that they have played who have been ranked, they've lost. They've lost. They've lost to Gonzaga. They lost to Seton Hall. Seton Hall's a ranked opponent. Not sure if Seton Hall was ranked when they played them, but they played Iowa State so far, and they lost that game. This is their opportunity to beat a ranked opponent, and I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening at all.
No, because the University of Texas is the fakest university in the country. There's not a bigger fraud of a university than the University of Texas. In the entire country, Swain, all this talk about Texas, all the time, always talk about Texas. Texas football is back. They're never back because they can't get out of their own way. All this talk about Texas basketball, and they can't bust a grape. You got Chris Beard, who won a national championship a couple years ago, and first year, not going all that great. In fact, the school that he left is better off without him.
Ooh, they do look good, don't they?
They look better without Chris Beard.
They look really good this year.
In year one. And like you said during the break, how are you the University of Texas, and you have a starting lineup, and you don't have a kid from the state of Texas in your starting lineup?
Makes no sense.
And you have legitimate talent in the state of Texas when it comes to basketball. There isn't a bigger fraud of a university than the University of Texas, which is why they are the fake UT, and they will be put in their place this weekend, just like they had to be put in their place way back in the day when they needed help to become a state. They would not be a state without the help of many volunteers. If it weren't for Davy Crockett, they would be a nobody. They'd be North Mexico. That's what they would be.
Yeah, those are facts, man.
And then, you look at their roster. They even have frauds on their roster. They have a senior, Andrew Jones. Oh, what a cool story. He beat cancer, this and that. You're not even the best Andrew Jones to ever walk this planet, okay? The best Andrew Jones to ever walk this planet resided in Atlanta, Georgia for several years.
Facts.
So you need to sit down and learn how to make a jump shot. Marcus Carr, you make David Carr look like the best Carr to ever step foot in the state of Texas. And David Carr was trash. Marcus Carr, why don't you learn to do something? Transferring from Toronto, Ontario to play basketball. You should have been playing hockey. That's what you should have been doing. Courtney Ramey, you won't even be the best Ramey in the building on Saturday because Grant Ramey will be there. So you can sit down and shut up too. Dylan Dessou, you were better at Vanderbilt. How were you better at Vanderbilt under Jerry Stackhouse, who can't do anything at Vanderbilt, than you are at Texas?
Has Texas won a tournament game since Rick Barnes has left? Because I'm looking at Shaka Smart's time there at Texas. Well, Rick won 69% of his games at Texas, and nice. Shaka Smart won 56% of his games. The first year after Rick Barnes, they had it says first round in the tournament. And then the next year they didn't go to the tournament. And then the next year after that, in 17-18, first round. Now, 2018, 2019, they were the NIT champions. NIT champions, baby. And in 1920, we know that COVID hit and there was no postseason. And then last year, first round. So it looks like they have not won a tournament game since they got rid of Rick Barnes.
And you know what that sounds like to me? They are the Memphis Tigers of Power 5 schools, NIT champions. I can't wait to see that NIT banner hanging up inside of Texas's arena on Saturday with their sloppy SEC leftovers.
Yeah,
Dylan Dessou transferring from Vanderbilt. Devin Askew transferred from Kentucky to Texas, and Kentucky got better at the guard position. You got Timmy Allen disrespecting the great Tim Allen. You got this Avery Benson, a senior who's trying to look like Steven Adams, but he plays like Jane. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. They have a kid named Brock on their team. And I know we do too, but our Brock is better because he's the Big J janitor's son.
That's right. He cleans stuff up.
That's right. And Brock is a key member of Tennessee basketball. This Brock is only on the team because he's from Austin, Texas. That's the only reason you're on the team. There isn't a bigger fraud in America than the University of Texas. The fake UT with that fake, ugly blank and orange. They're just a bunch of frauds. That's all they are.
I got something to share with you that's very, 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 very important. And then I have something to share with you that's very...
Extra important?
Extra important and fun. But what's important is that there are over 100 pieces of litter on our beautiful Tennessee roadways at any given time. 60% of water pollution is attributed to litter. That litter on the roadways can make its way to the waterways, destroying natural habitats and damaging water quality in Tennessee's rivers and streams. Those cigarette butts, which are you can put easily into a trash can when you are done. Don't do a trash can, but put it inside the butt stand. I think that's what it's called, a butt stand. You put all your butts, put it in there. Don't throw it on the ground. But those can leach toxic chemicals into the environment and can also contaminate our water. This trash talking segment is brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Join the Nobody Trashes Tennessee movement at nobodytrashestennessee.com. Speaking of trash talk, one thing we love to do here on the program, it's fun. It's part of sports, collegiate athletics. Speaking of trash talk, your analyst for tomorrow's game talked some big trash to Tennessee fans early in the season when he called Tennessee fans idiots for tweeting him about Santiago Vescovi's name. At the time, Vescovi did not correct folks. He did not. He told a couple media members that the correct pronunciation was Vescovi. We did not know that. So when he was calling him Vescovi early in the season, Tennessee fans were tweeting him saying, Vescovi. And Tennessee fans went back, grabbed interviews from Fran, saw what Fran was calling him Vescovi too. And he's going to be on the call tomorrow, guys. Fran Fricella is going to be on the call. But Chris Budden will be the reporter, and Chris Budden is a Knoxville native. Well, she lived in Knoxville, worked at WBR. She's big stuff now, ESPN. But Chris Budden always loved Knoxville. But she'll be on the call as well. She'll be the reporter. So, old Fran. Good to see you again, Fran. Don't look at your Twitter during the game. All right, who's on the phone?
Daytona's back.
All right, Daytona, let's try it again, man.
Hey, guys, sorry about that. I had an echo going on.
It's all good.
So I wanted to let the Vol fans know, don't worry about all the jazz with the South Carolina Gamecocks, because we ain't scared to unleash our preferred walk-ons. We ain't scared. We'll handle the Gamecocks. Don't worry about that.
We will do that. We will do that.
A couple of different questions real quick. Ben, what do you think about the possibility of Garoppolo coming to Pittsburgh?
No. Why would you even suggest that? I would rather watch Mason Rudolph than Jimmy G. How dare you?
No, I just read that. I just read that there's interest.
I will be just as mad about Mason Rudolph playing as if they go out and get Jimmy G.
Jimmy G is a nice bridge, man.
No, I don't want Jimmy G. Jimmy G is terrible.
Hey, you know
Aaron
what?
Rodgers is a nice bridge.
Well, yeah, but
go get Deshaun Watson and let him rub on some more
honestly,
booties
you
before I go get Jimmy G.
You would rather have Rudolph in there than Jimmy G?
No, I was
real?
emotional when I said that. I would rather have Jimmy G, but I don't want Jimmy G. I don't want Jimmy G. I don't want Mason Rudolph. I don't want Dwayne Haskins. Anybody else but those three. Go get Teddy Bridgewater. Go get anybody but those three.
Not Teddy Bridgewater.
Yes, Teddy Two Gloves. Bring him to Pittsburgh over Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not good. Teddy Bridgewater is good.
And
what do you think, Swain?
I mean, I think Teddy Bridgewater would not command the money that Jimmy G probably would command. And Teddy Bridgewater is great for the locker room. His durability is a question, but I mean, he is great for the locker room, and he's a bridge. He's a nice bridge to, I think, the next franchise quarterback.
Go get Ryan Tannehill before Jimmy G.
No.
Yes, I would rather have Ryan Tannehill than Jimmy G. Jimmy G is not good. He's just a pretty boy with a pretty face that ain't never done nothing in his football career, that's living off being the backup to Tom Brady. That's all he is. He blew the Super Bowl.
John Lynch was on the phone
a couple years ago.
Line 2.
Bring me Titans fans want to get rid of Ryan Tannehill. We'll gladly take him in Pittsburgh right now over Jimmy G and Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins.
Okay, let's exclude Aaron Rodgers and make it a reasonable person, something that actually could potentially happen. Who would you want?
Not Mason Rudolph, not Dwayne Haskins, not Jimmy G.
Okay, but who would you want?
If I was in charge, I don't know. The Steelers in a tough spot. They're not the type of organization that's going to make a trade for Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. So I would be stunned if that happened. Unfortunately, I think the reality is that it's going to be a rookie quarterback that they draft or Mason Rudolph. I think that's what is going to happen. I am anti Mason Rudolph, as you all can tell, but I think that is going to be the case. I think they're going to draft a quarterback in the first round, and if it's Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett, bring them in and let them compete with Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. And I think one of those three will be the starter. I'd be surprised if they went out and got a Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or some other quarterback. They just don't trade for guys like that. They're not willing to give up draft capital for it within trades. When they traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick and gave up a first round pick, that was an anomaly. That everybody was stunned that the Steelers were willing to do that because their history has indicated that they don't do that. So I'd be surprised if they did it for a quarterback.
Well, their history has proven that they don't have to do that because they draft so well.
Yes.
Hey, Swaino,
yes,
when
sir.
they announced Chicago and their pick, man, I was like, Swain ain't going to be happy with this.
With the head coach?
Yeah.
I like the head coach. I like the move.
Wait, what you know about the head coach that makes you feel that way, Dave Tunnell?
That's the thing. I don't know anything about. I've never even heard of the guy.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't have to. You know,
I thought they were going to swing big. I did.
Long as you swing and hit. I'll take the hit. I'll take the contact.
They've swung and hit. They've swung and hit quite a few times over the past few years, but it may have been just a little dribbler. I thought they were going to go for a home run.
Who has hit home runs in their hires in the recent 5 years? They've been guys that getting their first shot, or who are coordinators, who are coaches that a lot of people didn't know about. They were not retreads. I don't want a retread. I want a new coach. I mean, look around the league.
Cincinnati swung big.
At first, people didn't know that it was big. was Zach Taylor's first time being a head coach. People didn't know that at first. Just like you're not going to know this at first. Mike Tomlin was a coordinator before being hired with the Steelers. You didn't know until later.
Yeah, believe it or not, I did not like that hire when they hired him.
Well, you were
I'm
probably
not surprised.
you were probably a Falcons fan at the time, anyways.
Would you stop, Ben? I'm not getting your kid none.
That's fine. I'll take Matt Ryan over Jimmy G. Speaking of the Falcons, bring me Matt. You want to talk about a bridge? There's a good bridge.
That's a great bridge.
I'll take Matt Ryan. There's already a 49ers fan on here, Mad County Vol. From a 49ers fan, I second Jimmy G move to Pittsburgh. Ben, help a brother out. No. He would not be a perfect fit for the Steelers. No.
Is Matt Ryan a free agent?
Maybe.
Or would we have to trade?
I think that he is a free agent, or he has one more year left. It's almost over for him in Atlanta. I think there may be one more year left, and they're talking about moving on from him.
Yeah, but then that's right back in that same position. We're going to have to give up the draft picks.
That's fine.
I honestly think that we take Corral or Pickett and just roll with it.
Yeah, that may be what happens. We'll see. Look, y'all. Whew. Y'all are going to hate listening to me on this show even more than you already do if Mason Rudolph is the quarterback of the Steelers next year.
He has an out. Matt Ryan has an out for 2022. So he signed a big contract a couple of years ago, but for the 2022 season, his contract, he has an out. So he can get out of it, and it'll be a good time for the Falcons to rebuild, man. Let Matt Ryan go somewhere else to try to win. I think Pittsburgh's a good spot. I think Jameis Winston in Pittsburgh.
I want to fight you.
Maybe a possibility.
And didn't he sign like a 3-4 year deal with the Saints?
Yeah, but they getting a new coach, and they got pieces. Who knows? They might go get a veteran quarterback.
Pitfall says Derek Carr, and I would take Derek Carr in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, Derek ain't go nowhere. All right,
isn't his contract up?
Yeah, but
new coach. You never know. What if he's
crazy.
a free agent and the Steelers throw money at him?
Rams would be crazy to let Derek Carr go somewhere else.
The Rams or the Raiders?
Raiders, excuse me. The Raiders would be crazy. Just crazy if they allowed that. 865-255-03. Walk-ons. What was Dave talking about? Walk-ons, South Carolina? I don't know. Anyways, let me just see what's on the text box. I don't know what Daytona was talking about that one. I don't know, man. All right. Love it. Talk your ish, Ben. Savage, tell him, Ben. Dang, Ben. Goodness, Ben.
It's Friday. I'm tired. Tennessee is playing those frauds from somewhat Central America on Saturday.
Maryville Mark says, should Appleby be suspended for going after the students, considering what happened at Detroit with the Pistons back in the day? I think there should be some type of discipline for him. I wouldn't suspend him for an entire game, but a reprimand or not starting or something. I mean, that was ridiculous. It was funny, but it was ridiculous. It's a bad look for the league. I wonder what kind of conversations the league had with Mike White. But they don't really be trying to punish Florida players for doing stuff. They want to punish him secretly. That's what they probably do. They probably just make him run some suicides and keep it all hush hush like they did old boy from Florida last year, Payne, when he elbowed Fulkerson. No public punishment at all. We didn't see that.
I think we should start incorporating a punishment to where, like, if something happens like that on the road, then you have to take the bus back to your town. Like, instead of Tyree Appleby flying back with his team, he should have to get on a Greyhound and bus back to Gainesville. That should be the punishment. Give him 12 hours on the bus to think about what he did.
He was ready to throw hands, I guess.
Yeah, he's been a little extra.
Camden, Tennessee, Vol says, is Pierce being a 5-star a publicity stunt? I know he's good, but aren't they trying to target our fan base for interest in their site? I don't know. I don't know their intent. I don't know. I'm not going to say that that doesn't happen and it's not happening. I don't know. I would think that being right is more important than anything else. Being right is more important than anything else with your evaluations. It's hard to believe they would do that. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying I don't know. But I do know about the people that have left their previous work to go join Shannon Terry on 3, and it's credible. It's credible. Shannon Terry he's the best. So when they put out a ranking, I pay attention to it. I still treat it as, grain of salt. There's no ranking that is the end-all, be-all, but I know those guys put the time, the energy, the effort to make sure that it's accurate to the best of their abilities, knowing that you're going to be wrong sometimes. All that should matter is Pierce is a damn good player. He's filling a need, and he's a player that by the time he leaves Tennessee should be playing on Sundays. That really should be all that matters. 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Is he a championship player for you? Do you see pro potential in him? Because the more pro players you have, the better you have, the better chance you have to win games on Saturday inside the SEC. It's a proven formula. It's proven. 865-255-03. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
In this day and age, the way we work is changing and evolving. Businesses still moving forward despite your work location changing and supply shortages affecting a number of different areas. Office furniture is not immune to the halt in the supply chain. This is why Office Furniture Outfitters has purchased desks, chairs, and tables in bulk to provide you with in-stock options for your place of business, no matter if it's in an office building or at your house. Office Furniture Outfitters is the local supplier for Herman Miller, and they keep Aeron chairs in stock. They will come to your office, lay out, and make recommendations. No project is too big or too small. You can visit them on location at 17th Street and Grand Avenue in the Fort Sanders area, or online at ofonox.com, or give them a call at 865-524-3003. Office Furniture Outfitters, providing East Tennessee's biggest selection and best value for office furniture since 1995.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Fellas, when it's time to freshen up that wardrobe, there's only one play to make, and that's to go see my friends at Mark Nelson Denim in downtown Knoxville. Find the latest in small batch denim in the heart of Knoxville. Denim isn't all they do though. Mark Nelson also does custom suiting and blazers. Let your personal style shine with Mark Nelson. If you don't have time to go shopping for yourself but still want that fresh look, then sign up for the MN Society. Let the experts handle the shopping and get $300 worth of merchandise for just $150 every other month. That's 6 times per year to keep you looking styling every day. Let Mark Nelson Denim help you be the best you, because when you look good, you feel good. Go to marknelsondenim.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. Time for Around the SEC. As we go into the weekend, Ben, what are we paying attention to, and what happened from Thursday to Friday?
We definitely have some things to discuss. Texas A&M DB Eric Young is in the transfer portal. He was not a key contributor this past season for A&M, just playing in 5 games, but he is in the portal. Speaking of the portal, Auburn freshman defensive tackle Marquise Robinson is in the portal, and I do think he is a name that Tennessee fans should watch out for. He was the only true freshman to see action on defense in 2021 for Auburn, and Robinson is a player that the staff said had tremendous upside after showing plenty of promise last season. This according to Jason Caldwell, who covers Auburn for 247. He was a 4-star prospect out of Milton High in Florida and was a highly sought-after player who ultimately chose Auburn over FSU and also had Alabama and Georgia offers in the mix.
What's up, Rodney Garner? You like him?
I do think he is somebody that Tennessee fans.
What's his name again for the good people?
Should be aware of. Marquise Robinson.
Marquise Robinson.
We'll see if Tennessee can get him on campus here soon. That would be a huge transfer if they could pick him up. Kentucky received more great news this offseason yesterday when Kavasier Smoke announced that he would return for another season despite transfer rumors. He posted on his Instagram page in all caps with 2 exclamation points, "Run it back." 5'9", 201-pound junior averaged 5.1 yards per carry as a reliable and capable backup behind starter Chris Rodriguez last year. finishing with 416 yards and 4 touchdowns on 81 carries in 12 games. Throughout his career, he has rushed for 1,300 yards. And he is a very good back. He is capable of being a starting back, but he's been behind Chris Rodriguez and Benny Snell.
He must really like Kentucky and really got a nice NIL deal to stay.
I guess so, but Kentucky will have its 1-2 punch next year with Chris Rodriguez and Kavasier Smoke returning. So, unfortunately, that is good news for the Cats. I do have some other things I wanted to mention real quick. Tyron Hooper, the Florida transfer linebacker that we have discussed the last couple of weeks. He entered the portal. 30 minutes later, he exited the portal. Then after the weekend, he decided, okay, I'm not going to enter the portal. Or he is going to enter the portal. He did enter the portal, and now he is officially headed to Missouri. So Missouri picks up a former top 65 recruit who had 65 tackles this past season and 10 tackles for a loss, and he will play with his cousin at Missouri, who just transferred to Missouri from North Carolina. And here's an interesting note in terms of the NFL. It ties into the SEC. If the Raiders and Josh McDaniels get a deal done to make Josh McDaniels the next Las Vegas Raiders head coach, a potential OC replacement in New England could be former Patriots assistant Bill O'Brien. That according to Adam Schefter. So very funny to me that Alabama fans want Bill O'Brien fired after they lost in the national championship game, yet Bill Belichick may hire him to be his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you had young receivers dropping passes. You had injuries to your 2 top receivers. Alabama's receivers are like the best duo, arguably in the country, top 3 for sure. And both of those guys were hurt. So it's kind of hard for the offensive coordinator to pull, a rabbit out of his butt when you have that type of situation to deal with. So maybe he don't want to deal with college anymore. Maybe he wants to go back to the NFL, but it's not going to matter one way or the other for Tennessee because Nick Saban will replace him with the next upcoming great offensive mind or some proven established offensive mind. Like, remember Brian Daboll a couple years ago, how that didn't work out?
Bama fans wanted him fired.
Look what he's doing now.
He's on the verge of getting a head coaching job.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Yep. Had one of the best offenses in the league with Josh Allen.
And Josh Allen has gotten better.
Yep, 100%.
2 quick coaching notes to wrap up, and one coaching note, or one coach that Tennessee fans are very familiar with. That is former Kentucky quarterback coach Darren Henshaw.
Mm-hmm.
He was the quarterback's coach at Tennessee under Dooley, correct? Or wide receivers coach?
Yeah, he was on the Dooley.
Yes.
I think he was on the. I want to say he was on the Kiffin too, but I know he was on the Dooley.
Matt Zenit says quarterback coach at Tennessee and Cincinnati and an OC at Georgia Southern and Middle Tennessee, was an analyst at UCF this past season. He is headed to UAB to work for Bill Clark in another analyst role. So Darren Henshaw, a name familiar to Tennessee fans, so wanted to pass that along.
That's good. That's a good note right there.
And then the last thing I got for you is that Arkansas is set to hire Marshall's Dominique Bowman as cornerbacks coach. Earlier in the week, I mentioned that Lane Kiffin had hired Arkansas's corners coach away to be his corners coach, and now Sam Pittman has replaced that coach with Marshall's Dominique Bowman. Before Marshall, Bowman was a co-defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach at Tennessee Martin and Austin Peay.
A lot of movement.
Mm-hmm. It's starting to slow up a little bit as the semester is now in full swing. But, man, what a busy last 2 months it has been since really Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, it's always like that, man.
But it's picked up. It's always been like that, but now with the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's another level.
It's another level. And on top of coaches, and it kind of feels like coaches moving around is picked up as well. Maybe it just always seems that way, but it seems like even that has picked up.
Ben.
Jay Swain.
Conference championship in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Bengals, Chiefs, Niners, Rams. On the text box, orange colored shade says, which game are you looking forward to the most, NFC or AFC?
This is a great question because I'm truly intrigued by both. I can't wait for both games. Both have so many incredible storylines. I think the one I am most excited about, I hate this question because I don't know that there's one that I'm more excited about. But if I had to pick, I think I would say the AFC Championship game, just because I'm an AFC football guy, and Trey Smith is playing in it. And like I mentioned on Monday, a lot of talk about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and how they're going to have a bunch of, face-offs over the next decade or so. And I said on Monday, hey, Joe Burrow's going to have something to say about it. So I am very, very interested to see how Joe Burrow handles this weekend and if he can lead his team. I know Joe Burrow will play well, but can he play like Superman and pull off the upset and send the Bengals to the Super Bowl way ahead of schedule? So I think I'm more intrigued by the AFC Championship game, but I am very intrigued by the NFC Championship game because it has great storylines as well. Juwan Jennings, I'd love to see him play for a Super Bowl along with Emmanuel Mosley. And aside from Jimmy G, the 49ers, I enjoy watching the 49ers play. I don't like watching Jimmy G play, but I have become a big Deebo Samuel fan on the field and off the field. Obviously love Juwan Jennings. I like Kittle. Kyle
George.
Yeah, for some reason I was wanting to call him Jeff. I don't know why. Kyle Juszczyk. I think Kyle Juszczyk is really, really fun to watch. And then defensively, they get after you on defense in the front seven. The front seven is fun to watch. And, of course, you got E-Man on the back end as well.
Oh, you didn't forget him this time.
No, I didn't forget him the last time. Just people care more about Juwan Jennings than Emmanuel Mosley. That's the unfortunate reality of the situation. And then, I'm really intrigued by Matthew Stafford as well. I mean, his legacy is somewhat on the line here. It's been good for him to pick up 2 wins, but I think even simply just making it to the Super Bowl would truly cement his legacy. And I think it would be a really cool storyline. He went to Georgia. He's a Bulldog, and Swain and I were talking about this earlier in the week. And he was at Georgia 06, 07, 08. And that was when I was in middle school and kind of before I began truly disliking players. And so, like I was telling Swain earlier this week, when I think of Matthew Stafford, I honestly don't think of him as a Bulldog. I know he went to Georgia, but I don't think of him as a Bulldog. When I think of Mac Jones, I think of him as a Bammer. When I think of Justin Fields, a Bulldog and a Buckeye. When I think of Tua, I think of him as a Bammer. Because I was at that age of watching them in college to where I truly did not like them. But Stafford, at that age, I didn't really have a awareness of. I disliked Georgia, but I didn't necessarily dislike individual players on the team. So I think of Matthew Stafford as more of a Lion when I first think of him than a Bulldog. So what I am doing is I am admitting that I like Matthew Stafford, and I think it would be really cool to see him get to the Super Bowl and win one because of everything he had to go through in Detroit. And that would be a really cool storyline. So I'm very intrigued in both, but I think if I had to pick, I'd go AFC because I'm an AFC football guy. And Mahomes, Burrow, I think that'll be fun.
I mean, how can you not pick the AFC when you see Mahomes and Burrow matching up against each other? It was a great game a couple weeks ago at the end of the regular season. Burrow has yet to falter in peak stage moments. He has played his best. Patrick Mahomes is on fire right now. And then you have, on the other side with the Rams and the 49ers, I mean, the Rams are electric too on offense. The 49ers play a brand of football that we saw a couple years ago in the SEC, maybe a decade ago in the SEC, and it can work, it can win, but I'm more looking forward to the AFC matchup, the Bengals and the Chiefs. But it's going to be a slobber knocker with the NFC game, that's for sure, man. Two division rivals getting together, playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to sports this weekend.
Yes.
ESPN.
We're not moving on just yet. Who are you taking? I know you're going to have money on the game this weekend. Who are you going to take in the game this weekend?
Let's see here.
I'll give you the line.
I got the line right here.
Okay, what is
it?
You
know, keep that Action 247 app ready.
I bet you do. And hey, you can get those bets in early. If you bet $50 on either the NFC Championship or the AFC Championship, you'll automatically get a $20 free bet to use on basketball. So
that's right in my alley right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, Chiefs -7. Over under is at 54.5 here on Action. I'll take the Chiefs to cover that one. And then 49ers Rams. Rams are 3.5. That half scares me. I think this can be a close game. They both know each other. That 3.5 scares me. But I just think it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the season. And the 49ers beat the Rams twice. In both meetings, Matthew Stafford had 2 picks each. So he's totaled 4 picks against the 49ers. I feel like that has been the reason why the 49ers have won. In their last meeting, it was a closer game. It's 34-31. Matthew Stafford has not thrown picks like that in the playoffs. And I will say that the Rams beat the 49ers by more than 3.5. And they will be in the Super Bowl. I see this being a Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl.
You have the Chiefs by how many?
I think they cover 7.
Okay, so which one do you have more confidence in?
I got more confidence in the Chiefs covering the 7 than I do the Rams covering the 3.5 because of the poor offensive line for the Bengals. They gave up 9 sacks against the Titans. It's not like it was a one-game thing, which really highlights how great Burrow is. Mm-hmm. He's had this season with a poor offensive line, but I just think against Kansas City, they'll rush the passer, but they got guys in the back end too that can make plays on the football. I mean, you got Honey Badger, who did have a concussion last week, but he's gonna play. Come on, man. This is Honey Badger, in the AFC Championship game with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But I just think that Burrow won't be able to get that pressure and still be able to win because you're not playing against Ryan Tannehill in the Titans offense where he throws 3 picks. You are playing against probably the most dangerous offense in the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can say that because the dude kicked the field goal with 13 seconds left off 2 plays. So, yes, the Chiefs' offense right now is the most dangerous offense right now left out of these 2 teams. So
I'm with you. I'm taking the Chiefs to win and the Rams to win as well. I'm very fascinated to see how the matchups play out in the Chiefs game. I agree with everything you said, but I'm also curious to see if Cincinnati can take advantage of the Chiefs' tackles. The Bengals with Erickson are really good on the edge, and Orlando Brown and those Chiefs tackles have not had great years. So can the Bengals create some pressure from the edge? And they're not going to contain Patrick Mahomes, but when Patrick Mahomes scrambles out of the pocket, is somebody there to corral him? That's the frustrating thing about playing Mahomes is like you don't want to get him on the run because he's so good throwing the football on the run. So you kind of have to have like
pressure from the interior.
Right.
You got pressure in his face.
Right. And you have to have like guys prepared for when he does scramble out of the pocket. You have to like stop him twice. You have to like stop him. You don't want to give him all day to throw the football. So you have to generate pressure, but then even when you generate pressure, you have to have somebody like on the perimeter and in the flats to kind of contain him from scrambling around all day. It's practically an impossible task. So I'm interested to see if the Bengals can create some pressure against those tackles. And the Chiefs secondary is not good. Mm-mm. So I think the Bengals offensive line will be the difference in the game, But I bet you Burrow and Chase and Higgins and them boys eat. Boyd and Uzama and Joe Mixon. I bet those boys eat and can put up some points. So I think the Chiefs cover, but I honestly don't feel that good about it. And I don't feel good about the Rams either. I'm picking them to win, but the 49ers just have the Rams number. They do. I'm not picking the 49ers because of Jimmy G, but 6 straight over the Rams, the 49ers have won. It's like a mental thing at this point. Just we saw it last week. The 49ers had the Packers numbers. Aaron Rodgers has lost to the 49ers in the playoffs 3 times now. And the 49ers just have the Packers number. 49ers have the Rams number. So we'll see how that plays out. But I will take the favorites to win and cover in these games. I just don't really feel great about either one.
The over-under for the AFC game is 54.5. So do we feel like both teams will score high 20s? I believe so. I would take the over in that one.
I'm taking the over in Chiefs Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I'll take the under in 49ers Rams.
45.5.
I'll take the under. I don't think the 49ers are going to score a lot of points, and I love that 49ers front seven. So if the over does hit, it'll be because the Rams blow out the 49ers, in my opinion, and Stafford and Kupp and Odell just go off.
Well, the last time that these two teams played, the game was 27-24, and the 49ers won that one. It was a 3-point win there. And you only had a total of 51 points in that one. And then when they played in November, they beat the Rams 31-10, and which was a total of 41 again. So I think it would be safe to take the under in the NFC Championship game. If you are feeling tired, feeling grumpy, you've noticed weight gain, loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels, low thyroid, or even sleep apnea. Low T Center can determine the cause and can help. So it starts with the comprehensive annual health assessment at the Low T Center. Get over there, get those numbers checked, and if you indeed need treatment, they got you covered, because right now they offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for just $155 a month for self-pay or covered by most health insurance. They ship directly to your home. Really simple, really easy. That is Low T Center and lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. Let's get to the phones. What we got?
Turkey Man.
Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individuals. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
What up? What up?
I was going to ask the question. I never did catch the answer to Cave Mays. Now, last count I had, he was unsure whether or not he was going to the NFL, that they was working on it
he's gone.
Okay, well, they're not working on some kind of deal outside the NFL?
There was an NIL deal that was presented, but he chose to go to NFL.
Okay. Well, I heard yesterday, I think you talked about that you guys, that they had made it like a 6-figure deal for some players, and you guys were talking about, and I thought, well, that might have been
4 recruits that just signed.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, we got some players on our team currently that played last year with 6-figure deals. There'll be some guys coming in with a chance to get 6-figure deals as well. So yeah, that's what we're talking about, Turkey Man.
Okay. So Cave, did I misunderstand that deal he had was around $30,000 this past year?
No, we never talked about Cade's pockets.
Okay. Well, then I misunderstood. That's what I was trying to get across or understand, because I heard something about, I knew they couldn't be getting a lot going over the chicken place every day, but I didn't know how much that would be.
Yeah, K had multiple deals. I'm pretty sure was comfortable, but I don't know how much he made his last year at all. That's not. I wasn't trying to know either. Not my business.
No, I just kind of wondered what kind of deal it would have took at the time he's speaking of that for him to stay or not. I just kind of was thinking about that, and I thought, well, 6-figure ain't nothing to sneeze at. And so anyhow, I'll let you go, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too, Turkey Man.
Talk to you later.
All right,
Bye-bye.
talk to you next week, my friend. Ben, what does Ken Palm say about Tennessee's chances this weekend? ESPN has Texas winning this game. They give Texas 59.8% chance to win in the matchup predicted. What does Ken Palm say?
61% chance.
For Texas?
Yep. And projects a 64-61 win for Texas. And we talked earlier about Texas not being a top 25 team. Ken Palm certainly thinks they're a top 25 team according to his analytics. He has Texas ranked as the 15th best team in the country, according to Ken Palm. And looking at the stats, Swain, these two teams mirror one another. I mean, if you would have given me these Ken Palm stats on Texas and not told me it was Texas, I would have said that these are the stats for Tennessee. They mirror one another. They have a so-so offense. They struggle to knock down shots. They don't shoot it well from three. They're 201st in the country shooting the ball from three, and 107 in effective field goal percentage. And effective field goal percentage it's your regular field goal percentage, but Ken Palm adds value to the three-point shot. So you get credit, double the credit for making threes in addition to what you're shooting from the field. And that's how he comes up with your effective field goal percentage, because according to the analytics, it's better to take a lot of threes than long mid-range jumpers. And Texas, not the most effective field goal shooting team. They're not bad. 107, again, that's out of 300 and something teams in the country. So not bad, but not one of the better ones either. They turn the basketball over a ton, but they do shoot the free throws well. Again, they're just not a very good offensive team.
You want to know something that's also unique? You mentioned how these two teams mirror each other. Both teams have a 6'6", either guard, in our case, is Josiah Jordan-James. In their case, they have him as a forward. But a 6'6" player leads the team in rebounding. Josiah Jordan-James at 5.8 rebounds per game. And then Texas, their leading rebounder is Timmy Allen, who is listed as a forward. He's also the leading scorer and the leading rebounder. So make sure that he's in check and he doesn't have a career day against Tennessee.
They do have a good defense. That is the other way that they mirror.
That's Beard, right?
Tennessee. That is Chris Beard.
That's Beard.
The 13th most efficient defense in the country, according to Ken Palm. They turn you over. Teams don't shoot well against them. Don't shoot well from three against them. They don't shoot a lot of free throws against Texas. They don't really block shots, but they force turnovers. They get steals. And they make it tough to get off clean looks. And I misspoke. They do give up a pretty good amount of free throws. And they also give up offensive rebounds as well. That's the one bugaboo on defense for them. They give up offensive rebounds, and they give up threes. Teams just don't shoot well from three when they give up the threes because they are being contested. And I take the under. I don't think the under hit the other night for Tennessee, Florida, but that's also because Florida shot the roof out of the ball, or the lights out of the ball in the first half.
Yeah,
they could not miss.
Yeah, they shot the light bulbs out.
Yes, thank you. I was struggling there as you could hear. So it's a veteran team, the 16th most experienced team in the country, average of 2.64 years. Trey Mitchell is their most efficient player. He is a junior. And then Marcus Carr, a senior. Timmy Allen, a senior. Andrew Jones, a senior. Christian Bishop, a senior. Dylan DeSue, a junior. Courtney Ramey, a senior. They are a team that is full of veterans. So it's going to be a rock fight. I'll take Tennessee to win. I think they've somewhat found a groove with Urosh starting and Folke coming off the bench. And since Folke has come off the bench, he's been much more efficient, been better with his energy. I think that's also a product of being further removed from having COVID. So I'm never going to feel good about picking Tennessee because you can't really trust the offense. But Santi is automatic right now, has it stuck on automatic. Justin Powell starting to find a rhythm. Kennedy Chandler starting to find his way on defense. You know Zakai's going to make winning plays. Josiah, he's going to find ways to make winning plays on defense and on the glass and blocking shots. And Texas has won 2 in a row, but they've only won 2 out of the last 4 and 3 out of the last 6. So they've won 2 in a row, but also a little inconsistency when you go back a little bit further than that. So I'll take Tennessee to win a close one on the road and back up Rick Barnes this weekend.
On the locker room on Sunday, we did our picks for this weekend. On Sunday, I had Texas winning because until Tennessee wins these type of games on the road this season, I got to pick the other team. And Texas is a team that is more than capable of beating Tennessee. They mirror each other in a lot of ways, but it's about Tennessee being a totally different team away from Thompson-Boling Arena.
Yeah,
for me,
they are.
And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I'm not going to touch this game as far as betting unless it's the over/under. But I just my heart says Tennessee. My head is saying Texas because we have yet to win one of these games away from TBA. I think about the games up in New York. I think about
Lexington, Baton Rouge.
Yeah, man, just different. We're just different. We was playing these guys at home. I would pick Tennessee for sure.
So when Tennessee plays Auburn at home, you gonna pick Tennessee?
Nah. Nah.
I know. I'm messing with you. And the other thing that bothers me is like I feel good about Tennessee's current trajectory. I'm still weary, but it kind of feels like they've turned the corner. It kind of feels like they've started to go uphill instead of downhill. But, man, when you start to feel that way, it feels like the rug's pulled out from underneath you. So I'm a little weary about starting to feel good about Tennessee basketball. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll probably come back on here on Monday and regret it for the same reason you just said. But hopefully they don't pull the rug out from underneath me because it does feel like they're starting to turn a corner. It's a slow turn around the corner, but a turn around the corner nonetheless.
I like where we're going. 3-game winning streak with a chance to win 4 here. Hopefully it happens, and our guys play the best of their season. They do it for Rick Barnes, man. Don't let Rick go down there taking an L, players. Uros.
Don't be doing too much.
Kennedy.
Don't be doing the silly turnovers.
Vescovy, I know what you're going to do, Vescovy. I don't even need to say your name. I know what you're going to do. You about that action. I already know you're going to drop 15. But the rest of y'all,
drop 20.
The rest of y'all need to make sure y'all put on for Rick Barnes. You better bring your damn A game for Rick Barnes.
That's right.
Don't be embarrassing Rick Barnes.
Olivier, don't disgrace the braids and the headband.
Olivier, for sure, man. Because I would have to come down there and take him out during halftime. I had to bring my comb and everything, man. We'll take them braids out. I know I'll take out braids. I got 3 girls.
Brandon, please act like you want to be there.
Come on, man. Y'all got to win for Rick Barnes now.
We need just Justin Powell, knock down some threes. Victor Bailey Jr., if you get in there, don't shoot past the rock. I know it's your homecoming. But
shoot that thing, Victor.
Don't shoot it.
Shoot it.
No, pump fake, do a drive-by, kick it to Santi.
That's what Victor is in the game for.
No, Victor.
It ain't for defense and it ain't for setting screens. He got to shoot it. If you don't make it, take him out.
He's made 7 threes on the year.
Shoot it.
And 4 of them were against Presbyterian.
Shoot it.
How many games have they played?
I'm going old school NBA Jam, NBA Live.
No, pass that thing. Pass the rock, Victor.
Let it fly, man. You at home. You gonna make them.
Folky, please show up.
Somebody get Folky a brisket sandwich while he down there before the game. So he can gain about 2 or 3 pounds.
I don't know.
So he can bang in the paint.
At this point, I think we may need to secretly inject Folky with some steroids so he can rage when he gets into the game.
That's a great idea.
I mean,
Pimple Face will be bad for the brand, though. NIL deals and appearances.
He's got 2 more months, and then he's off to bringing pals to Knoxville. So he got 2 more months. Pimple Face will be all right.
Let's get it. Let's get it, Tennessee. Let's get that win for Rick Barnes. Thanks for making the Swain Event part of your week, part of your day today. We'll be back on Monday. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Peace and love. Have a blessed weekend, folks.